First two games this time around were won convincingly by the A's. The Giants return home to Candlestick Park, looking to get back into the series. The pitching matchup for the pivotal Game 3 pitted 12-11 Don Robinson against 17-8 Bob Welsh. That pitching matchup never took place. At 5:04 p.m. local time, mere minutes before the game got underway, a 6.9 earthquake struck, rippling through the Bay Area for 15 seconds. As word got out about the extent of damage throughout the area and the news that there were casualties, baseball was put on hold. Once it was clear that Candlestick was fine, Game 3 got underway 10 days later. The A's were able to go back to their aces, Dave Stewart and Mike Moore, and swept the Giants, the first World Series sweep since the Reds beat the Yankees 4 straight back in 1976. On the strength of 2 wins, Stewart was selected as the series' most outstanding player. The 10-day delay between games was the longest in series history, and that final game on October 28th was the latest the World Series had gone up to that point in baseball history. For It Happened in Baseball, I'm Mick Kern.
MLB Network Radio is your home for 24/7 baseball talk, featuring on-site coverage of every major event from spring training through the World Series and expert analysis from former general managers and players. SiriusXM Channel 89
is what we're seeing when you see Tennessee fans in the stands.
We do think orange is generally brighter, except Tim Bickford showed up with a degree, so you never know exactly how that goes. Tennessee and Auburn, game number 1 of our semifinals Saturday here in Nashville. And the starting lineups are on the way. We go to public address announcer John George.
SEC fans, welcome to Bridgestone Arena for this game of the 2025 SEC basketball tournament, featuring the number 4 seed Tennessee Volunteers and the number 1 seed Auburn Tigers. It's time now for our starting lineups. First for the Tennessee Volunteers. At forward, a 6'10 senior from Croatia. Number 7, Igor Milicic Jr. At forward, a 6'11 junior from Nigeria. Number 34, Felix Akpara. At guard, a 6'4 senior from Fontana, California. SEC All-Defensive Team, number 15, Jemai Mashak. At guard, a 6'5 senior from Nashville, Tennessee. Second team All-SEC. SEC Newcomer of the Year, number 2, Chaz Lanier. And at guard, a 5'9 senior from Long Island, New York. First team All-SEC, All-Defensive Team, and Defensive Player of the Year, number 5, Zakai Ziegler. Head coach for the Volunteers, Coach Rick Barnes. And now the Auburn Tigers. At forward, 6'10 senior from Plant City, Florida. First team All-SEC and Player of the Year, Janai Broome. At forward, a 6'7 senior from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. Third team All-SEC, Chad Baker Mazzara. At center, a 6'11 senior from Augusta, Georgia. Number 44, Dylan Cardwell. At guard, a 6'6 senior from Stone Mountain, Georgia. Number 13, Miles Kelly. And at guard, a 6'4 senior from Newmarket, Alabama. All-Defensive Team, number 2, Denver Jones. And the head coach of the Auburn Tigers, SEC Coach of the Year, Bruce Pearl.
Well, that's an interesting reception. I think some might be saying Bruce, and some might be saying boo.
It's a mixture. You know, when you coached at UT, and we know Coach Pearl did an exceptional job when he was the head coach over at Tennessee in Knoxville, and he's doing an even better job at the University of Auburn.
And that might be why the boos from the people in Knoxville is the better job. But he did get them right to the verge of a Final Four. They lost to Michigan State about a decade and a half ago. Tennessee has never been to a Final Four. Rick Barnes feels like this could be that team. We'll see. But this is going to be an absolute grinder in game 1.
It is. You know, you have both teams, like I said, they played each other early in the season, 53-51 victory by the Auburn Tigers. But Tennessee plays half-court defense, and day 2 is where it always kicks in the legs. You know, when you don't really go deep on that bench. And Tennessee is 6 or 7 man deep. Auburn is a team that goes 8, 9, 10 man deep, but the rotation will probably be cut down as they lead into NCAA tournament.
Yeah, we've seen them play 9 in this tournament, but really 8. Jaheim Hudson only played 4 minutes in that game in the quarterfinal round. So Tennessee breaks the huddle on the left side with the creamsicle orange jerseys and the white lettering, the white piping. Auburn is still in that huddle over on the far right side. They wear the white jerseys with the navy blue and the orange trim. Auburn and Tennessee. Then later, game 2, Florida and Alabama. 4 teams that really should be 1 seeds, possibly verging on 2 seeds. There are only a couple 1 seeds to go around, so that might be a knockout in game 2 for a 1 seed. Many people believe Auburn is already the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament. Can Tennessee up its chance of climbing a seed line by beating Auburn, who did lose 2 in a row early in March? Felix Okpara just kind of taking it in, looking over his left shoulder. Pat Adams has the basketball, one of our 3 officials, and the tap goes back to Tennessee. The Vols go left to right. The diminutive point guard, Zakai Ziegler, plays it up top for Igor Milicic Jr. He stalks the perimeter high on the right side, passes into the right corner and gets it right back. It's a dribble handoff back to Ziegler, who waves with his right hand. A very deliberate Tennessee offense. Bounce it into the corner. Here's a jump shot. The opening shot is up and good for 3 for Chaz Lanier, who went off in the first half yesterday.
One of those players that come off screens, they set solid screens, and his job is to come off and make shots.
These are 2 of the top 5 3-point defenses in the country. Tennessee #1, Auburn #5 in the country, and Auburn has it now for the first time. Janai Broome, SEC Player of the Year, taking his measure of Okpara. 2 dribbles, now a third, spinning in the lane. He got wrangled and a foul called as he collected his own rebound. They're going to get Okpara on that whistle. That's his first, and this is where maybe the depth will come into play for Tennessee.
And Janai Broome has been really good with his back to the basket. He likes to crab dribble in. He does an excellent job of seeing the double team when it comes and also just being ready to score, going over that at right shoulder.
He steps to the foul line. He's built like an armored car. Free throw is off the front iron, no good. He's a 62% foul shooter. Auburn is really good for the foul line. They're 74.5%, top 20 in the country from the free throw line. Broome takes a deep breath, ball at the waist, couple of dribbles, staring at the Tennessee band, and it's Sousaphones, and the free throw rattles out. The rebound down for Okpara. He was stripped in the left corner, taken away by Auburn deep in that left corner, and Miles Kelly. High on the left side, he'll hop on the dribble, toss it up top. There's a 3, Denver Jones, and he strikes it. We're tied 3-all, Auburn and Tennessee, and a steal by Auburn again. Here is Jones with those bright, almost salmon-colored shoes, taking the ball away. Now Kelly left of the circle, staring at the defense of Jemai Mashak. Here is Jones circling to the high right side. He thought about a 3, instead whips it for Chad Baker Mazzara. Now into the post it goes. Here's Janai Broome backing into Okpara. Broome with a shoulder into him. He turns and fires on one leg and scores. He was teetering, and he still played the angle perfectly. 5-3 Auburn.
That's part of his game that he has improved all season, being able to play with his back to the basket, spinning one direction, shooting off soft off the glass.
That was Nikola Jokic speed and almost a look from him as well. Beautifully done by Janai Broome. And now Tennessee basketball, 18:05 first half. The Vols trailing 5-3. Screen shown from Okpara. Ziegler rips a pass right of the circle. Here's Lanier on a drive, carving the lane. He shoots and scores right at the horn of the shot clock, and we're tied at 5.
Another one of those players' game has improved from not only being a shooter, but a player that can put it on the floor, get to the basket, and also has a mid-range game. And you know he can shoot the 3 from outside.
He can absolutely beat you from everywhere. Here is Jones cutting a pass to the right side. Baker Mazzara. His jump shot from 15 is good. That's 2 for Chad Baker Mazzara, the senior out of Santo Domingo. 7-5 now. Ziegler on the gas pedal. Gets down the lane. Kicks it out left of the circle. 3 in the air. That's Milicic, and he drops it in. So much for a rock fight. It's 8-7 Tennessee, the lead.
I love this pace. This pace favors Auburn. Auburn, Tennessee is going to slow it down, but right now they're making shots. And I know Denver Jones is happy he made his first three. Went field goalless the first meeting.
Yeah, he really struggled from three. Here's a Kelly three left wing. That's a bullseye. Hey, Auburn and Tennessee are at Talladega. It's 10-8. This is not what we expected in game one, maybe game two. Florida, Alabama, who played in 99-94 the first time around. Ziegler stands still, now puts it on the deck, a couple steps to his right. He's marked by Jones. Down to the high right side, here's Lanier on a back pedal. He'll fire another three. That's good! Meteors flying through the sky in Nashville. It's 11-10 Tennessee.
You see both teams make shots from the outside, and especially when Chaz has it going, that gives them a legit score on their end of the court. That is Tennessee and Orange.
My, oh my, he loves the first half of this tournament. Now a reach in near takeaway from Jones. It gets crowbarred away by Meshack right of the circle, picked up by Baker Mazzara. Now to Kelly, swaying the ball between his knees. He drives to the foul line. His pull-up hits the front iron, no good, and a rebound foul and an entanglement. And it's going to go against Tennessee. The call by KB Burdett Jr. on the near side, and that's not very well received by the Tennessee fans.
We know Tennessee is a great half-court defensive team. All five guys are locked in. They guard boxes and elbows, but what they're really great at is defending the three-point line and not letting you get loose. But right now, Auburn is off to a great start from the three-point line, 2 for 2.
Yeah, the Auburn Tigers 2 for 2 from three. Tennessee 3 for 3 from three. Nobody's missed. Between the circles, here is Pettiford, the freshman, who spikes a dribble down with his right hand. He switches to the left hand and wanders around the perimeter. He's chased by Gainey. He'll fire. That's no good for three. And the rebound down for Okpara on the hit ahead to Ziegler. Snaking through the defense. Mazing to the right side. He guns a jumper. That's too short. Just grazed the iron. They're going to chant air ball anyway. Here's Pettiford scooping a pass right wing. Kelly a long triple. Off the bracket. Rebound down for Okpara, the Ohio State transfer for Tennessee and Orange. Leading 11-10, 15-27 in the first. Gainey switches back to the left. He works mid-post. Whipping it out for Ziegler. Now a touch for Milicic. Here is Ziegler between the circles. Pocket pass down low. Milicic driving layup. He scores. 13-10 Tennessee. Beautiful look.
Sakai is one of the best guards in the country in pick and roll, making the pocket pass. He gets guys involved. He's the leader of this Tennessee ball team in Orange.
Now he is top 10 in the SEC all-time in assists. With that one, here is Auburn between the circles, top of the key. Baker Mazzara on the hunt, trying to drive. Instead, bounces into the mid-post. Broome turning, left-hand shot. A laser beam is good. And it's 13-12 Tennessee. A low trajectory object for Johni Broome.
Yeah, once he gets deep in the paint, it's hard to guard him. Eventually, if he keeps scoring down low, I can see a double team coming by the Tennessee Vols.
We've not had a timeout yet, so you have to imagine some of these guys are playing their hearts out. Might be gassed early. Here's Gainey slicing a pass for Ziegler. Back to Gainey with Broome on him. A lot of hands on him. It's a driving reverse layup. That is good for Gainey, who gets him 11 points off the bench. 15-12 Tennessee.
Gives him another guy that can put the ball on the floor, make plays, and it takes some of the pressure off of Zakai Ziegler being the distributor.
Into the post it goes, back to the basket, mid-post left, shot is up, and no good for Chaney Johnson off the bench for Auburn, the senior from Alabaster, Alabama. Ziegler pops it past Milicic, Summit three, around and out. Rebound down for Auburn, one and done for Tennessee. They'll play it back for Baker Mazzara. 13:40 in the first half. Still no first media timeout. We apologize to our sponsors. Here's Pettiford at the midline for Auburn and White. Bounce pass for the slender Baker Mazzara, trying to turn and burn. He gets down the lane, step through, shot is good. A long, sleek step for two for Baker Mazzara. That was beautiful.
He's a versatile 6'7", long wing that can see over the defense. They play well when he's in the pick and roll.
Here's Tennessee with the basketball high on the right side. Foul line extended. Milicic off for Gainey. 30 feet away. 13:06 in the first half. Tennessee by 1 in the 1-4 matchup. He kills the dribble, spins it for Milicic, who wanted to tuck it into the post. Can't do so. It's denied. Here's Ziegler, 5 to shoot. He'll gun it up top. That's off the backboard. No, but a foul on Pettiford. And 3 free throws for Zakai Ziegler, who's so good at getting to the line.
Well, just understanding that possession, you got to challenge without fouling. That's a bad foul. If you think about Pettiford, Zakai Ziegler is not a 40% three-point shooter, so you got to understand your assignment, your matchup, and also personnel.
Know your personnel, right?
Yes.
The headline news.
A&P.
Yeah, I love it. 15-14. Tennessee the lead. 12:55 to go. First half in Nashville. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smash.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from. Thank you for spending your time with us here and cheering on whatever team it is that you're rooting for in the SEC tournament. Please do us a favor and let's get some more basketball fans here in the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto and have a really good time partying it up during March Madness. Hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Every single share is so massive. Please share it out as it helps YouTube recognize that more people are enjoying what they're watching. Now let's get back to the basketball. Good luck to your team.
Star. What did you see? My Audi's wife was Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive. I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Gatorade, the official sports drink of the SEC. Gatorade, it fuels the best because it is the best. By Regions, official bank of the SEC. And by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
15-14, Tennessee with the lead over Auburn. 12:55 to go first half. I mean, these teams barely put up 40 combined at halftime in the first meeting. They made combined their first 5 threes in this game, Tony. It's a totally different flavor. Who does that benefit?
I think it benefits Auburn. You know, if you look at the threes they made against each other in the first meeting, it was only 7 between the two teams. But this tempo favors Auburn, who has the depth that can get up and down the court. Tennessee wants to play the half court, but right now they're playing Auburn's tempo. And with that being said, it's going to wear the Tennessee balls down because once they go to their bench, they don't have many players that can come in and as reserves and knock down shots from outside and make plays.
The only guy off the bench to this point until this timeout was Jordan Gainey. They have Cade Phillips, who plays about 15 minutes a game in the front court, and then Darlin Stone Dubar, the senior from Charlotte, the transfer by way of Hofstra and Iowa State, plays about 10 minutes a game, and now Phillips will come in and break the huddle to get a little run here for Tennessee. Dubar as well. So Ziegler will go to the foul line. He'll get 3 free throws here. And as you mentioned, Tony, he's a 78% foul shooter, just 32% from 3. So this is not the place you want to put him.
No, absolutely not. If the shot clock is winding down, you want to challenge vertically and give him landing space. But when you think about Zakai Ziegler and all these guys from Tennessee, they played a lot of minutes all year. So we know this team is in great shape. So the starters playing 30-plus minutes is not uncommon for these guys.
Free throw good. Second one good as well. That rattles down at 17-14 Tennessee. 12:55 to go first half. And Ziegler especially is the wrong guy to foul in that situation because he knows his percentages. He's a math major.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you look at a guy when the ball goes through the net as a shooter, it helps your outside shots.
Certainly does. Near takeaway. Pettiford at the midcourt line was double teamed. They spring another trap. It's a high pass caught by Kelly. He'll drive and swoop into the lane. Kick it out right of the circle. 3 in the air and good for Auburn. Knocked down by the Tigers' Chaney Johnson. It's 18-17. So here is Tennessee low on the left side with the basketball out at the perimeter. Here is Gainey, 25 feet away. Gets a screen from Phillips. He'll wave it off. Two-handed pass to the left wing where it's caught by Dubar. Now Ziegler waiting for the screen. Now Kelly chases him away. Right wing 3 in the air. Gainey. That's just a little left in the rebound for Auburn. Low on the right for Chris Moore. Here is Kelly outside left. Kelly staring at Dubar. Lost control of the dribble. It finds Pettiford. Top of the key 3 is too strong. Rebound batted twice back out to Auburn. 19 to shoot. Fresh shot clock for the Tigers at 11:45 in the first.
Yeah, it's hard to rebound those long threes. Everyone has to come in and team rebound.
Pettiford hooks a pass to the right wing. 3 in the air, no good. Kelly crumpled to the ground after the miss. He got undercut but didn't get the foul call, and Tennessee has the rebound with Meshack. Ziegler, perimeter right, got caught up for a moment, kills the dribble, and finds Gainey. Into the left corner, here is Dubar with the dribble, trying to hand off, and he does to Ziegler. Switches back to the right, speeds into the lane, puts it off the window, and scores. I mean, the ball is basically on the ground for the moment with a low dribble, and he whips it off the box.
Ziegler's one of the best in the business at turning the corner, getting in the lane, and creating opportunities, not only for himself, but for his teammates.
20-17 Tennessee, 11 minutes to go first half. Here is Johnson wheeling in the lane, puts his head down, trying to bull by Dubar, and he got a piece of that shot, or maybe he didn't. It's over the end line, and it will be Tennessee basketball. Good challenge. Maybe he did not get the fingertips on that basketball, so it looks like Tennessee ball when we come back. 10:53 to go, half number 1 in the 1 versus 4 matchup on semifinal Saturday in Music City. Tennessee by 3, 10:53 in the first. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, you know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up.
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
Tennessee 20, Auburn 17 in the Bruce Pearl Bowl. 10:53 to go, half number 1. Auburn has 16 quad 1 wins this year.
That's amazing.
Right? They've been in so many different types of games. They've been in so many situations. They've beaten Houston and North Carolina and Purdue and Iowa State and Ohio State. Being down 3 at 10:53 in the first half is not a bother to this team.
Absolutely not. I think Coach Pearl and his staff have done a tremendous job of scheduling well for his team, getting prepared not only for the conference before it started, but also getting them prepared for March Madness. And when you have a conference that has 12 to 13 teams that's going to make the NCAA tournament, you're not going to face better teams all year round. And I just like the way Tennessee guards the ball. They guard the three-point line. They guard boxing elbows. It's interesting that they make you either drive to the paint where they're waiting from the weak side and guys are rotating. And from the outside, they make sure they close out under control.
They have been so good at protecting the rim. They're top 30 in two-point defense, one of the top overall defenses in the country. They're 20th in offensive rebounds as well. The one thing that Auburn has not done so far in this game is turn the ball over. We are more than 9 minutes in, and Auburn is so good. That's another reason they're so dangerous in the tournament. They are so careful with the basketball.
I like both teams. You said being careful with the ball. You must have juniors and seniors, guys who are experienced to understand the importance of the value of the ball. Every possession counts, and when a game like this, you can't have many turnovers. It could come down to the last possession, the last two possessions, and you want to make sure you have more than the other team.
It did the last time they met. Miles Kelly, an enormous three in the corner in Auburn to get that victory. So it is Tennessee with the basketball, and Jordan Gainey will waltz it into the front court at the angle to the right. He's looking at Pettiford, the freshman on the defense. Try to pass, caught up in traffic. He got it right back from Chaz Lanier, who's back on the floor. Here is Gainey outside left in front of the Auburn bench. It's a jump pass that looks for Phillips and ends up out of bounds off of Auburn with 8 to shoot. Tennessee will keep it.
Just one of those teams, like I said, they play you hard. Auburn understands the importance of this game just as well as Tennessee understands the importance of this game.
A chance to really help your seed line. If Tennessee wins the SEC tournament, you could make a strong argument for them being a 1 seed as they'll flick it out to Phillips, who's fouled and hugged by Chaney Johnson. It's the first on Johnson, a rare foul in this game so far. Just the second against Auburn, 2 on Tennessee. It's hard to not call that one, though. It was like a warm embrace. It was like, hey, I haven't seen you in a while. Inbound to Gainey. He'll catch it in the backcourt and walk across the midline against Pettiford once again. Outside right, he'll play it through Phillips. Now to the high left side, here is Lanier, a big-time scorer for Tennessee. Back to Phillips, 6 to shoot. Lanier, one-hand pass through Meshack. Into the corner he goes, 3 in the air, no dice. And a rebound foul against Johnson again. And Janai Broome very quickly is off the bench.
Even this pick-and-roll defense right now, when you have a pick-and-roll defense, you have different reads to make strong side, weak side. But once the big sets the screen, he's looking to roll. And what Auburn is taking away, they're taking away the roll guy, and Lanier has to be able to see that corner pass. But it's always tough when there's extended arms from a 6'10", 6'11 guy.
And now the bigs, as you say that about 6'11 guy, the bigs have just swapped back in. So Broome comes in, and he's followed immediately by Milicic and Okpara for Rick Barnes. Lanier met at the arc by Moore. He'll drive him down the lane. Mid-post runner is good for 2. He's got so many weapons, Tony.
Just a tough shot. When you think about the defense that was played there, he's able to make tough shots because his ability to score off the glass, mid-range, and all the way to the lane.
10 early for Lanier once again. Outside left 3, Denver Jones. No good. Wide to the right for Auburn. 1 and done. Rebound pulled down by Okpara with 2 hands. Here is Lanier slowly walking into the front court, leaning over the dribble. He finds Okpara, who fakes a handoff, dribbles to the right, lost his man Cardwell for a moment, but didn't take it. Here's Meshack roving down the right side of the lane into the short corner. He sweeps through with the left-hand dribble and kicks it out perimeter left for Gainey. 6 to shoot. He'll drive. He'll scoop it up off the window with the right, no good. Rebound wrangled for a moment by Milicic, but he lost it out of bounds. And it's Auburn basketball as it went over the end line. 9:19 first half. Auburn stuck on 17, trailing by 5.
Yeah, Tennessee's a tough team. They're a tough team to score against, and when you face them in the NCAA tournament, it's going to be tough. Team that's disciplined. All 5 guys are playing man-to-man defense, and they know how to rotate on the weak side.
And by the way, a Rick Barnes team that rebounds its face-off. That's surprising. Right? Oh. I mean, one of the best rebounding coaches in the country.
Have always been a great rebounding team in guard boxing and elbows.
Jaheim Hudson in, the senior. Entry pass is batted away. Ziegler got the hand in there over at the far sideline. There's a reason he's back-to-back years now the SEC Defensive Player of the Year.
Very active with not only with sliding his feet, but he's active with his hands. You try to get more guys to use their hands and not have them by their waist. Be long be long and athletic. That's what teams are looking for when it comes to NCAA tournament time.
He's 5'9", but you're describing him as long because he plays that way. Here's Broome clanging into Akpara up with the left to score. Janai Broome just battered Akpara there. It's 22-19 Tennessee. Ziegler dancing on the dribble, send it around the arc. They'll go counterclockwise. Now back to Ziegler, driving mid lane down the boulevard. He's pushed and fouled. 2 free throws coming for Zakai Ziegler, who's perfect at the line. 3 for 3 at 8:46 in the first.
Tell you what happens with the Auburn team is different from most teams around the country. They can play inside out. With today's game being so many guys shooting threes and most teams being three-point oriented, they can throw the ball in where they're not making threes from outside, because Janai Broome is one of the best players in the country, if not the best player on the low block.
Foul shot arches up and good for Ziegler. 23-19 Tennessee. You also see them use a second side and a third side in an offensive set, which not a lot of teams do nowadays either.
But you got to get Tennessee defense to shift. You can't let them just stay set on one side. Only way you can do that is by moving the ball and reversing the ball.
Free throw good by Ziegler. 24-19 Tennessee with the lead. Here's Pettiford, and a trot into the front court. Goes right down the middle of the lane. Flares it up. No good. And a rebound foul is going to go against Akpara for a displacement. Don Daly with the call on the far side. He was behind the left shoulder of Akpara. Let's see who it's on. Oh, they do. They get Meshack. Okay, so it's on Meshack. Akpara was the one who reacted.
Sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Akpara was like, what did I do? The answer was nothing. Meshack gets called for the foul, and on the inbound pass, Johnson tried to slide in. Instead, they'll have to parachute it out for Denver Jones. 17 to shoot, Auburn basketball. Jones at the right hash mark, sends it to Broome between the circles. Janai Broome clutching at the waist, pulls it over his head, driving on Akpara, banging into him again. Ball down on the ground and a near takeaway. It spits out to the right wing, now to the right corner. 3 in the air is a little short, and Pettiford couldn't hit. Rebound Tennessee, sprinting into the front court. Lanier pulls up and slows down at the right wing. 8:07 to play. First half, Tennessee by 5 and willing to be patient.
One of the best teams in the country at gang rebounding. That's Tennessee and Orange.
A Rick Barnes staple. Down the lane goes Lanier. Kick out Ziegler. Brace for 3 instead. Drives all the way to the cup and scoops it up and in. He was a blur in orange, and it's 26-19.
You give him the angle with the speed and the quickness, he will finish at the rim.
He just carves you, doesn't he? Auburn basketball. Here comes Rocky Top. Outside right, Baker Mazzara doing hopscotch on the dribble. 14 to shoot. Chased by Meshack. He greets him and staples himself to him. Shot no good. Weak side follow is there for Janai Broome. He sweeps it up for 2. 26-21 Tennessee. And a whistle. And a timeout. Don Daly stops play with a timeout, Auburn. So 7:22 to go first half, 26-21. You could feel Tennessee getting lathered up there.
Yeah, you could tell Tennessee is one of those teams that when the ball goes up, all 5 guys come back and rebound the ball. They're not worried about one player just being a dominant rebounder. If you're going to be one of those teams that advance not only in this SEC tournament, but in the NCAA tournament, you have to rebound the ball. It's an important as well as guarding the three-point line and not giving up easy shots at the rim.
We'll step aside. 7:22 to go first half. Tennessee is +3 rebounds and +5 on the scoreboard. 26-21 first half. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the old basketball hoop in your driveway, and I'm rustier than your game. I mean, seriously, I should have been replaced back in '99. So when you go up for a dunk, I slam down onto your car. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, you might have to jump through a few hoops to pay for this. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem, like me.
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to coverage of the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a Farm Rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these two lovebirds get one more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
While this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
7:22 to go, first half. Nashville, Tennessee. It is wonderful inside. It is stormy outside. And as I was walking into the arena earlier today, I thought of that time in Atlanta about 15 years ago. Remember, like a portion of the roof came off of the Georgia Dome? We don't need any of that today.
No, we don't. I think that might be the reason to move this to Nashville. That's just a joke. No, actually, Nashville's a great city that's centrally located for all the teams, and then there's a lot to do in Nashville. Not to say there's not a lot to do in Atlanta. That is my home. But Nashville's a different feel. It's a college town.
You didn't mention your hometown in Tennessee until the third town, as we talked about favorite places you live, and then you just put Atlanta behind Nashville. You're very fair. You don't show bias. I love that.
I do not. Tennessee, I'm always gonna love Tennessee differently than any other state I ever lived in. This is home. It's always going to be home.
I love it. Tony Delk, Jason Benetti, our entire wonderful crew here in Nashville as the timeout comes to an end. Looked like maybe Denver Jones had a cut, which stopped play. Don Daly was the one who blew the whistle. But right now, Tennessee leads 26-21 over Auburn. 7:22 to go first half. And we've talked about the rebounding. Tennessee is +3. There have only been 2 total turnovers in this game. Very clean game, Tony.
It has been. When you look at the backcourt of Chaz Lanier and Zakai Ziegler, both of those guys, the first meeting scored in double figures. And Auburn backcourt didn't score in double figures. So right now, they're winning the backcourt battle. Auburn guards have to make shots, and they've done an excellent job of taking care of the ball.
Ziegler in that first meeting played 39 minutes and 14 seconds. He sat for all of 46 seconds, and here he is back on the floor, racing into the front court to play it through Milicic on a dribble handoff for Lanier. He spins it left, caught by Milicic on a handoff high on the right side. Ziegler surveying the scene, crossover dribble, bounce feed high on the left for Meshack. Left of center, just left of the circle. He thought about firing a three, then a pass intercepted by Baker Mazzara. Driving right down the middle of the lane. He puts it up. It trickles off. Rebound volleyballed out. Auburn's got some clutches on it. Down to the deck. Hudson spits it out top of the key. And here comes Kelly roaming to the short corner. His shot is good with one hand. A push shot for Kelly. 26-23 Tennessee.
Yeah, just a multiple effort play by the Auburn Tigers. And you have Baker Mazzara, who is one of the great downhill scorers because of his height and athleticism. It seems like he's a little banged up right now. That's what happens. You have a loose ball. Everybody's trying to get on the floor, so you have to protect your legs on those particular plays. And every once in a while, someone will get hurt coming off of a scramble like that.
They just called Kelly on a foul, and he went over to Pat Adams to plead his case and didn't, as has never happened in the history of the world, didn't get the foul wiped out.
9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, they're not changing their call.
Yeah, I'd take the over on 9 out of 10. Here is Ziegler, high on the left. He'll move it to the right wing, still with the dribble. Up top, a touch for Lanier. He's got the ball at his waist. He switches to a right-hand dribble, back to the left. He's got Broome on him. Start and stop, little hesitation. Pull up right elbow is an air ball that faded left on Lanier. And at 6:08 in the first, Auburn will take over, trailing by 3.
As you can see how Tennessee run their offense, because they don't have a low post threat, everything they're doing is predicated on the outside from a three-point shot or them having to drive. If you have a low post threat, you can throw the ball in like Auburn does, and they can play through Broome. Tennessee doesn't have that player to play through on the inside.
They just took Milicic out, and he's really more of a stretch 4 or 5, depending on who he's in there with. Top of the key, bluff a 3, Denver Jones. He probes the lane, got caught midair, and it's a tie-up. Alternating possession will stay with Auburn. The Tigers fans are jeering it. They thought that he got fouled. And now Jones, with his hands up, palms up, talking to KB Burdett Jr., the official on the near side. We're looking at a replay here, and the crowd likes it even less. In fact, I might tend to agree. Broome, short corner left, holding in the left pocket, sends it up top, 3 in the air, top of the circle, no good for Jones. Rebound deflected to the corner, pulled in by Tennessee and Ziegler. He'll saunter into the front court, throw it left for a bluff 3 by Dubar. Play it back for Ziegler off a screen from Okpara. They're tough in the pick and roll. He couldn't get it to him. Instead, fan it out wide to the left. Drive and kick Gainey for Ziegler with a foot fake. Stepping back out to the right wing, perimeter right. It is Gainey. Back to Ziegler. He snaps off a 3 left of the circle, front iron. Rebound Auburn, right short corner, and Kelly. 5:13 to go first half. Auburn down 3. Denver Jones back to the basket, 23 feet away against Ziegler, trying to ward him off, push him away like he's a gnat. Ziegler just hanging around, no bug spray there. Here's Broome at the right elbow, foul line pulled just off the ground. He knocks it down for 2. Janai Broome, 6-0 run for Auburn, 26-25 Tennessee.
And what I like about this Auburn team, as we stated earlier, they're a team that can go inside. So they have a player they can play through, but also a player that can get them a bucket in a short clock.
Loudest it's been as you say that. Ziegler with a very low dribble. He keeps the dribble and spins it out wide for Dubar. Send it back, return pass for Ziegler. Jockeying down the lane, lost it off his leg. It tumbles out of bounds. It is Auburn basketball. Tennessee's 4th turnover. Auburn still hasn't at 4:29 in the first half.
And there's so much pressure on Zakai Ziegler to be the playmaker, the guy that handles their offense on in the half court as well as in transition, and that's the difference in these teams. Auburn has more players that can handle. Tennessee only has 1.
I believe Ziegler got warded off, and he wanted the officials to go to the monitor and take a look at this thing. So the officials are going, because we're at 4:29, we're within 30 seconds of the 4-minute mark on an official stoppage. They're going to punch out into our official break. There's some media jargon for you. You can use at your next cocktail party. 26-25, Tennessee, the lead over Auburn. 4:29 to go first half. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
Back to Nashville for more SEC basketball action after this on the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
26-25, Tennessee with the lead, 4:29 to go first half. So after that play when Ziegler drove, he and Miles Kelly got tangled up, and it looks like they are going to offer offsetting technical flagrant 1 fouls essentially against both of them.
I like that. You know, when you have a game with this intensity, you don't want to just overcommit a flagrant foul or technical when there's no need for it. Just two intense teams playing hard-nosed basketball and just showing how how important defense is right now. Just when you're trying to think about not only winning this tournament, but trying to get in the NCAA tournament, you have to be able to defend in the half court. And Tennessee is one of the best teams in the country at doing that.
And they've done it without fouling. Auburn, like UConn, the past couple of national championships, especially that first team Connecticut had, they got outshot at the free throw line for the year. Auburn has taken 60 fewer free throws than its opponents for this season. Even though they're 28-4 for the year, they don't get a whole lot of run from the foul line. But look, that's not really their game.
No, it's not. Every team has a different identity. You got to do what works for your team based on your personnel. And what I see with Auburn, just having guys that can put the ball on the floor, but having SEC Player of the Year, you can play through him. Yeah. Most teams do not have a big in college basketball that they can throw the ball to and say, go get me a bucket.
So they offset those fouls against Ziegler and Kelly. And the inbound pass will go to Auburn. The Tigers trailing 26-25. The last lead for Auburn was at 10-8. Here is Jones circling to left of center. He'll drop it off Baker Mazzara at the right hash mark. Lob it in for Broome. Fading catch low left. His shot falling away. No good. Rebound for Tennessee and Dubar into the front court. He gets it right back. Tees up a right wing three, and that's no good. Front iron. Rebound popped in the air over the end line off the stanchion, out of bounds to Auburn at 4:02 in the first half.
Tennessee had Auburn wasn't getting back on defense because Broome had fallen down, and you got to take that early transition three. Good attempt by Tennessee.
They got a good look from Dubar, who's only hit 15 threes this year, the senior transfer from Hofstra. Now it's Auburn basketball. Hit the high post for Broome. One hand to pass through Cardwell into the post, right back to Broome. He wheels and fires and scores. Another line drive. They're just clotheslines off his hand, and he gives Auburn the lead for the first time since 10-8.
Once again, Broome can catch it deep, finish over his left or right shoulder. Made a quick move on that particular play.
27-26, popped in the air, taken by Cardwell. It's a race to the basket. He stuffs it home. It crawled over the iron, and he gets up with his hands in the air, conducting the Auburn Orchestra. 29-26 Tigers. That was rugged. How will Tennessee respond? Ziegler spins it left side. It's caught at the foul line. Gainey. Kick it back out. Lanier at the summit. Pop it right side for Gainey. Driving on Cardwell. Foul line step back. Get it over for Ziegler. Hook a pass left corner. Three in the air for the tie. No good. Too strong from Gainey. Rebound near side right. Dubar runs it down. Under 3 to go. First half. 2:50 in the first. Tennessee down by 3. Lanier sizing up Cardwell. Slender Lanier driving back to the basket. He chucks it back out. Dubar in the right corner. Driving the short corner. Into Baker Mazzara. He elevates and scores. He was a bulldozer for 2.
Yeah, that's Tennessee offense on the perimeter driving. They're not knocking threes down. Once again, they do not have a inside player that they can play through.
They just use their guards and forwards from the perimeter to get inside as Auburn cycles it around, try to zip it down low. It goes to Broome, and he is called for an offensive foul on the sideline. The Auburn fans don't like it. He just shucked a Tennessee volunteer away, and Janai Broome called for the foul on the offensive end.
And I have to blame the passer on that. When you have a guy moving that fast, that big, he can't stop. So give him time to get settled before you make that pass while he's on the fly.
That is a very large Broome to be swept away by the way.
Yes,
if
it
you're
is.
Gainey. Now they're going to talk it over and maybe go to the monitor to take a look at the contact. The 3 officials are on the far side. 2:15 to go. First half. Pat Adams says the play is under further review to varying degrees of contentment here in Nashville.
Yes, it is. It's just the intensity of this game. I mean, yes, I would say it was a basketball play, just trying to, maybe not.
He stiff-armed him.
He did.
As we get another look at it, I felt the same way, and as you were saying it, we got a look here at the scoreboard above, and it was one of those stiff arms that if Saquon Barkley did it,
yes,
Eagles fans would be like, oh my goodness, did you see what Saquon did?
But also, it was done right in front of the Tennessee bench. So, of course, Rick Barnes and his staff and the players was going to sell it to the highest level.
Jordan Gainey, he just became a modified version of the slogan of the conference. He just leans more is what just happened there. So 2:15 to go. The officials are still looking at it over on the far sideline.
I think this game, first team to 60 is going to win.
We didn't think that in the first 5 minutes, but they found each other, haven't they?
They have. Like I said, we knew it was going to slow down. It was a great start by both teams, but
call on the floor stands will be a common foul on white number 4.
Common foul, basketball play.
I like that. I like that. Yes, of course. It's playing hard basketball. Let's keep this game going. Let's not slow it down. I don't want to go to the monitor too many times. Let's let these guys, these young players, showcase their skill set.
I will say, watching it again, when you put your hand out wide.
Yeah, I mean that's what the big guys do to us little guys. You know what I'm saying?
And you're okay with it. You're advocating for the big guys to keep doing it to you.
We'll get them back later in the game. You know what I'm saying? we're running to those knees and to those hips. That they don't like for us to do when we are trying to get over screen. So we know how to get them back. Don't worry about it.
You got your own way of going about your business.
We got our own tactics. How to attack the big men when they get us with a stiff arm.
Oh my goodness. The huddles just break. Auburn to the right, Tennessee to the left. This has been a great game so far, as expected. 29-28, Auburn the lead. 2:15 to go. Half number 1. Auburn still hasn't made a free throw. Tennessee is 5 for 5 from the foul line, and neither team is shooting it very well after opening 5 of their first 5 combined. There's been only one made 3 since then. They are 1 for 15 after that, as that's punched out of bounds over the sideline by Broome from Dubar, and 20 to shoot for Tennessee.
With Tennessee, they have to get something out of Gainey right now. I know he's their leading scorer coming off the bench, but there's so much pressure on Zakai and Lanier right now to make plays and to make shots. They need some help.
They have a combined 19. Gainey just has 2, to your point. Here's Lanier right of the circle with a high hand of Cardwell on him. Off a foot fake, he gets to the elbow, pulls a jumper over him, around and out rebound, yanked down by Broome. Hit ahead for Baker Mazzara with the shock of hair behind him. He crosses over on the dribble and drops it off for Jones. He moves it to the right wing, defended by Ziegler. Hook a pass for Broome in the high post. Bounce it for Cardwell, back to Broome, ramming down the lane. He's met and fouled. Lanier has his hands in the air, claiming that he didn't do anything. And again, he's right. He's not the one that was called for the foul. 2 free throws coming for Broome, and they're going to get Okpara, and that is his second foul at 1:36 in the first half. That's big.
Yeah, you got ball reversal to get Broome going left, which is his strong hand, getting downhill. I like that play call.
Broome squares up to the left side basket. Free throw is no good. Or rounds it out for Janai Broome. He's taken all 3 free throws for Auburn today. He's missed all 3. As Dubar comes out, Milicic back in, and also Cade Phillips. You would imagine Rick Barnes going to sit Okpara for the remaining 1:36 in the first half. Broome with Auburn up 1. Shrugs his shoulders. The transfer from Morehead State, who was very under-recruited. Misses too strong. Rebound, pulled down, palmed by Milicic for Tennessee. And the Vols will angle it left to right. Here is Zakai Ziegler, filtering it to the high right side. And they'll play through Phillips to the top of the key for Milicic. On a feed, zip down low, Lanier. He doubles back from the block, gets it for Milicic. He'll drive down low on the right. Shot blocked away. It ricochets out to the near side right. Lanier 5 to shoot, 25 feet away. He drives on Broome, gets down the boulevard, puts it up. No. Rebound follow is tapped in by Milicic. From Croatia with love at 1:02 in the first half. Tennessee retakes the lead.
Once again, Tennessee in the orange is struggling when the ball is not in Zakai Ziegler and Lanier hand. They need someone else to make a play and get downhill.
And there is Milicic on the follow. Here's a drive from Jones, shimmying midair, and he got fouled. Denver Jones will go to the free throw line. He just kind of wiggled his way down the right lane line, and he'll get 2 free throws where he has been outstanding this year. In the last 8 games, Denver Jones is 23 of 23 at the free throw line.
And they do have some excellent foul shooting. Auburn, that is. I want to say 3 guys are shooting over 90%. That might be the only weakness that I see in Broome's game, is going to the foul line late in the game and not being able to knock down foul shots.
First free throw for Jones is good. He's only missed 6 times all year. He's 74 for 80 this season from the foul line, as Milicic picked up his second personal, so he and Okpara both have 2 at 42.8 to go, half number 1. Tie ball game. Jones sends the second one up and through, and Auburn retakes the lead. 31-30 your score. The Tigers with the advantage. And they blitz there. Jones just ran by Ziegler and then knocked him over. Denver Jones from behind shoves Ziegler with his body, and that will be a 1-and-1 for Zakai Ziegler. It was an interesting idea. They blitzed him, and then he just snaked by.
Right. But on the NBA level, as well as the collegiate level, they have kind of taken that play out where if a guy's running behind, you can't really stop on breaks. And he got away with it. Smart play by the senior. Zakai Ziegler, number 5 in orange.
You know how it is, though. If you're driving around, you slam on the brakes, somebody hits you from behind, it's their fault.
It is.
Free throw good for Ziegler. That's the way it is on the road. But I agree with you. Like, you slam on the brakes like that, you're kind of asking for it, aren't you?
And then they've tried to take it out the game, but in that play, a player's falling down. You have to he's forcing you to make a call.
Second foul shot is good, and Tennessee retakes the lead, 32-31. So with Okpara and Milicic both on the bench with 2 fouls, you would imagine this is Johni Broome time.
It is, and I expect them to go to him sometime in the low post, and
they've got it at the wing. Jones has his 3 blocked out of bounds. It's going to stay with Auburn. That was Ziegler who came flying on the near side from 5'9" to like 6'9" off the vertical.
Smallest guy on the court gets a block from the outside. But let you know how tough he is. He's tenacious on defense. His size, can't look at the size of his, you can't look at his height. You got to look at the size of his heart.
He's just awesome to watch. Zakai Ziegler, a teetering Baker Mazzara, gets it to Jones, who drives hard, and he'll go to the free throw line. It's a foul on Gainey. That's his first. Jones, we knows the signal for I was shooting, because he was doing it as he was fouled, and he's going to go to the line for at least a 1-and-1. They're going to stay on the floor, I believe, here.
But even as a player, you remember your last game against teams. And that's the one thing I will say about having played the games that you didn't play well, you remember those games. And Denver Jones didn't play a great game against them. He made 2 free throws, but he didn't make any field goals. And like you said, he's an excellent foul shooter. So when you have late game situations, you can put the ball in certain guys' hands that are shooting over 90%. Auburn has 3 of those guys.
He's at the foul line. He puts it up and scores it again. Denver Jones, perfect at the foul line. We're tied again. Those shoes he's wearing,
interesting.
I believe if strawberry and salmon was a flavor together, wild cherry maybe. Free throw on the way and good. 33-32. Auburn with the lead. Tennessee can have the final possession of the first half. 17 seconds to go. Zakai Ziegler at the steering wheel. Into the front court in the orange for Tennessee with a white piping. Crossing over on the dribble at 10 seconds to go. Still center of the court. Ziegler throws it right. Lanier chucks up a long 3. That's an air ball. Rebound saved back to Ziegler at the left wing. He hucks up a 3. Hits the back iron and misses at the horn. A second chance for Tennessee goes wanting, but as entertaining of a first half as we've had in this tournament so far, and no surprise, Tennessee trailing 33-32 to Auburn.
I think both of us knew it was not going to be a 10-point lead at halftime by either one of these teams. We knew it was going to be a rock fight. Both teams are going to play great half-court defense and not give up 3s from the outside.
And that's exactly what has happened. Just a combined 6 threes for both teams. 33-32, Auburn in the lead. 15 minutes on the halftime clock. Second half on the way. Stephen Hartzell has scores and highlights after this. This is the SEC Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. But we're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
Mercedes-Benz asks you this. What do elite athletes and luxury vehicles have in common? A winning drive, for starters. Both are versatile, intelligent, and constantly innovating. Both navigate speed bumps and leave fans with goosebumps. And of course, only the best become stars. Mercedes-Benz, available in electric, gas, or plug-in hybrid. Discover uncompromising luxury at your local authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Learn more at MBUSA.com. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament.
A shot from three, nothing but net.
On the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, you know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up. But it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Severance Season 2 is now streaming on Apple TV+.
What you all did 5 months ago was one of the most painful moments in the history of this company.
Our message got out. We're famous.
All of us equally, or one of us is like the star?
What did you see?
My Audie's wife is Miss Casey.
If you wouldn't find out what happened to her, I'll help.
She's still alive.
I want to see my wife.
You should have left.
Severance. New season now streaming. Only on Apple TV+.
With 20 minutes in the books, it's halftime on the SEC Radio Network. Brought to you by Farm Rich, the official frozen snack of the SEC. Grab a snack. Stats, analysis, and scores are all coming up. Now back to Nashville.
It's halftime in Nashville. Top seed Auburn, 4 seed Tennessee. We have a 1-point game at intermission, 33-32. Tigers on top of the Vols. Winner gets a spot in the championship game on Sunday against whoever wins our second semifinal between Florida and Alabama. Stephen Hartzell with you courtside at Bridgestone Arena. Welcome into the Farm Rich halftime show. Coming up, we'll reset the bracket here in the SEC. We'll also check scores from other leagues. A lot of conference tournament action going on today, obviously, from coast to coast. Before we do any of that, we got to pause 10 seconds for station ID. 10 seconds for station ID across the SEC Radio Network. Well, listen back to highlights from the opening 20 minutes. We joked in pregame about the lone regular season meeting being a defensive masterpiece between these two teams that left a lot to be desired offensively. Well, in the opening minutes, we got just the opposite today. Both of these teams combined to go 5 of 5 from three-point land in the opening minutes. It was a frenetic pace out of the gates, and everybody was seeing it go through the hoop.
It's a Kelly three left wing. That's a bullseye. Hey, Auburn and Tennessee are at Talladega. It's 10-8. This is not what we expected in game one, maybe game two.
That is Miles Kelly with an early three, but anything the Tigers did early on, the Vols would match.
Now to the high right side. Here's Lanier on a back pedal. He'll fire another three. That's good! Meteors flying through the sky in Nashville. It's 11-10 Tennessee.
You see both teams make shots from the outside, and especially when Chaz has it going, that gives them a legit score on their end of the court. That is Tennessee and Orange.
Chaz Lanier with the answer. We were going back and forth. 4 lead changes by the first media timeout, and it was game on in Nashville. Vols as a team started the game 7 of 10 from the floor. Tigers were a tad cooler, 7 of 14, 50% for Auburn by the midway point of the first half. But the style of game we thought we were going to get, where points would be at a premium, was not the case for the first 10 or 12 minutes of this one. Vols started to create a little separation, and it came courtesy of the smallest guy on the floor.
Down the lane goes Lanier. Kick out Ziegler. Brace for three. Instead drives all the way to the cup and scoops it up and in. He was a blur in orange, and it's 26-19.
If you give him the angle with the speed and the quickness, he will finish at the rim.
He just carves you, doesn't he?
Zakai Ziegler, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year, flashing the offense there, and the Vols would stretch the lead to 7, up 26-19. And similar to what we saw in the Texas game yesterday, Tennessee was paced by Lanier and Ziegler in the scoring columns. Ziegler leads the Vols with 11 halftime points, Chaz Lanier with 10. Auburn was paced by guess who? The front runner for National Player of the Year, Johni Broome.
Denver Jones back to the basket, 23 feet away against Ziegler, trying to ward him off, push him away like he's a gnat. Ziegler just hanging around, no bug spray there. Here's Broome at the right elbow, foul line pulled just off the ground. He knocks it down for two. Johni Broome, 6-0 run for Auburn, 26-25 Tennessee.
That bucket, part of an eventual 10-0 run that would give Auburn their first lead at 29-26. Johni Broome with a game-high dozen to lead all scorers, 6 of 7 from the floor, but 0 of 4 from the free throw line for Broome. Vols went on a scoring drought of nearly 5 minutes after building that 7-point lead, and the torrid pace that we had at the start of the half gave way to the more physical and methodical game we thought we would get at the outset. It may still end up being a race to 60 when it's all said and done. At the break, Auburn 33, Tennessee 32. More of our Farm Rich halftime show coming up. We'll check the scoreboard after this timeout on the SEC Radio Network.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
How about this? Back to Music City after this timeout. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the old basketball hoop in your driveway, and I'm rustier than your game. I mean, seriously, I should have been replaced back in '99. So when you go up for a dunk, I slam down onto your car. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, you might have to jump through a few hoops to pay for this. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem like me.
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network. Time now for the Regions Scoreboard Update. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
Halftime here on semifinal Saturday in the SEC. Auburn, the top seed and defending tournament champs, lead Tennessee 33-32. Elsewhere across college basketball, we're at halftime of the Big Ten tournament semifinal. Wisconsin leads Michigan State 37-33. Still to come at the Big Ten, it'll be Maryland and Michigan in semifinal number 2. in Indianapolis. ACC championship game coming up later tonight will be Duke and Louisville. Big 12 championship game set to go at 6 o'clock Eastern. It's going to be Houston taking on Arizona. The Cats knocked off 2-seed Texas Tech in the semifinal last night. Big East tournament championship game at the Garden will be St. John's taking on Creighton. That game tips at 6:30 Eastern time. And again, still to come here in Nashville, we got semifinal number 2 between the Florida Gators and Alabama Crimson Tide. We expect that game to tip off approximately 90 minutes from now. Call it 2:30 Central Time-ish, give or take, 3:30 in the East for Alabama and Florida. Again, our score at the break, Auburn leads Tennessee 33-32. We are back to Nashville with the second half after this timeout on the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Greenprint plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC now recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Where champions are crowned. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or a triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field. But today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
We got about 2 minutes left on the halftime clock as Tennessee and Auburn come back out of the locker rooms. We got a 1-point Auburn lead, 33-32, as we bring back in Jason Benetti and Tony Delk. Guys, one thing is for certain, the stars for both of these teams have come to play here early.
They have in a big way, Stephen. Thank you. Janai Broome, to this point, 12 points. There haven't been very many rebounds to go around, just considering the pace of this game. It's 16-13 Tennessee. And with a lack of turnovers, there's just not a whole lot of fast break points to be had either. It's been a half-court game.
Yeah, it has been. Looking at how they were playing early, the first 5 minutes, it was up and down. We saw threes going in, but we knew that pace was going to slow down. Tennessee's one of those teams that's going to guard you in the half-court, boxing the elbows, man-to-man, and they don't like the rotation. Because once you start rotating in basketball, it opens up driving lanes to the basket and outside shooting. So Tennessee knows how to protect the three-point line and also the paint.
You said it early. These are two very good three-point shooting defenses. Tennessee is first in the country at 27 and change allowed. Auburn is just over 29% allowed from three. And so you see the points in the paint piling up. 30 combined points in the paint of the 65 to this point in the game. If you are Tennessee and you know Janai Broome can do what he does, what do you do defensively against him with Milicic and Okpara with 2 fouls? You help? What do you do?
I think you will see double teams, but you want to come too soon. You know, Janai Broome is methodical on how he's going to try to score. He doesn't score quick all the time. He likes to see if the double team is coming. He's going to play with his back to the basket, use his crab dribble, and try to go over that right shoulder. But like I stated earlier about Tennessee playing defense is that they guard with their hands. They're not only just active with their feet, taking off the angles, they're very active with their hands. And that's one of the reasons why they're one of the top defensive teams in the country. And it's hard to get young players to use their hands playing defense.
Why is that?
Because young players thinking about offense, they're not really focused on defense as much as they should be until they get older and understand the system and the identity. And when you think about what Rick Barnes has done with all his teams, they play excellent defense at the University of Tennessee.
They have, and all the way back to his Texas days, some time at Providence as well. And when he was at Providence, he actually had as one of his players Bruce Pearl's assistant Ira Bowman was a Friar back in the 90s playing for Rick Barnes back in the day. He's seen a lot of basketball, Rick Barnes has, including 1 year at George Mason as well. So the three officials are at the near side getting ready for action here. 20 minutes on the clock once again. As you see overall, these two teams started 6 for 7. After that, 5 for 18 combined, and they ended the first half combined 1 for their last 18 from 3.
Right. And they are, here's the kicker, Jay, is that they're getting good quality shots. It's not like they're forcing threes. But, you know, when you have a hand being extended out, someone running at you, you have to make a play. And both of these teams are excellent if they're chased off the three-point line, rotating from the weak side and not giving you an easy bucket at the rim.
Here we go, second half. Milicic will inbound it from right in front of us at center court. He's got 2 fouls. Okpara has 2 fouls. Denver Jones, Miles Kelly, Chaney Johnson with 2 fouls each for Auburn as well. But the post attrition is a problem for Tennessee as Broome hounds the inbounder Milicic, who shuttles it back for Ziegler, and we're off and running half number 2. Ziegler delivers for Meshack, who drops it off back to Ziegler in the left pocket. To the left wing, it is caught by Chaz Lanier, who had 10 quick in this ball game. He's given the left hand by Baker Mazzara. They switch on him with Cardwell. Now here's Milicic ramming down the lane, stopping at the left block against Broome. Won't put it up. Instead, kicks it out. Foul line shot. Meshack, no, but he is fouled. Meshack, a leaner from the free throw line, and a hand came in, and he'll get 2 free throws.
We talked about that. You have to be disciplined when a guy's driving to take a pull up. You do not want to foul a guy taking a shot. I also like this Auburn team, because right now when I think about just the perimeter play from Tennessee, they're not making shots, and it's easier for Cardwell and Broome to stay in the paint.
Free throw no good. The first foul line miss for Tennessee today is Meshack. By the way, that was the 3rd foul on Miles Kelly. It comes 27 seconds into the second half. Second free throw. He puts it up and misses too strong. Meshack 0 for 2, a 76% free throw shooter. Denver Jones in fits and starts into the front court. Turns his back on Ziegler. Now faces up with him again. Trying to drive on him. Ziegler got the hand in and pickpocketed him one more time. It's a foul on Jones as well. It's the 3rd personal on Denver Jones. Those 2 guards for Auburn both picked up their 3rd in 39 seconds.
The one thing about Zakai Ziegler is, as a ball handler, you cannot play around with the ball. He's low to the ground. He's active with his hands. He knows how to take angle, and he has quick feet.
I mean, he really does have the hands of a thief. It's just slinking in the night, right? He's a safe cracker.
But he plays that way from the beginning of the game to the end of the game. He's always playing intense defense, in your face, in your space, and you can't play around with him handling the ball.
As he will do right here, navigating into the front court. Straight away with the basket, 30 feet away. He's watched by Denver Jones with those 3 fouls at arm's length with him. Now Ziegler swooping in from the left side. He scores. Ziegler off the screen, gets 2, and Tennessee has the lead back.
Great at turning the corner, off the pick and roll. He is excellent at finishing at the basket, even though there are shot blocks back there.
He felt it, and he still scored. Now Ziegler, some high hands against Jones. Off to the right wing, here is Chris Moore, the senior, leaving it for Broome. He was way out at the arc, so he killed the dribble. Now Jones rotating to the right short corner. His pass deflected on a skip. Caught by Moore. He's into the lane. His floater is a little short. Cardwell's follow is short. The second chance for Cardwell is good. His first 2 out of Augusta, Georgia, and Auburn has the lead by 1. 35-34, Tigers with the advantage, 18:22 to go. Ziegler breaks down the lane again against Broome. He puts it up off the window and through. Zakai Ziegler just conquered Mount Broome.
Just showing you the toughness that he plays with, and he is the leader of this Tennessee ball team in orange.
So tough. Here's Broome in the short corner. Milicic, an armbar on him with the left. He doesn't have the right hand on him. That is legal. Off a skip into the corner. Nice recovery and a drive and a foul. It's going to go against Zakai Ziegler, who just got battered on a drive from the corner.
But just one of those guys, we talk about Zakai Ziegler, you know, not even thinking about the height. He's just a tough player. And when you have him on the court, he is a leader, and he doesn't mind doing the dirty work.
No, and he'll pick up a foul or two. He knows that that's part of the game.
That's his DNA. Intense, in-your-face pressure.
Kind of like working with you. Here's Broome spinning left of the lane. He'll go to the free throw line. Janai Broome, I mean, he is just a bruiser down there. He comes from a family of football players. They produced a bunch of defensive ends in his family. He thought he was going to be a football player. He's kind of built like one, but as he grew, he became more of a basketball body. And Tennessee might argue, you know, there's a little football in there still.
I mean, there is. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, it's not anything where we expect for them to call something on a touchy foul. But I love Broome catching the ball deep in the paint. And as I stated earlier, when I think about the Tennessee team advancing the NCAA tournament, they rely heavily on the outside play of Lanier and Ziegler, and it's going to be tough when they're not making shots or they can't get all the way to the rim. On the flip side, Auburn has a go-to player with Broome being able to catch it low on the low block, and then if the guards are making shots, they're a tough team to play against.
He just made the first free throw. Second one, front iron and backboard and through. Basically the same shot. He goes 2 for 2. He picked up the third foul on Milicic. So Cade Phillips is off the bench for Rick Barnes. 3 on Milicic, the senior from Croatia. Ziegler ladles it over for Phillips. Now to Okpara. Drop it off for Ziegler. Breaking on the dribble right of the circle. Denver Jones hunched over against him. Kick at Okpara. Now Ziegler right of the circle. 3 on a handoff. No good off the back iron. Great box out by Cardwell. And he clears the rebound for Auburn. Here is Baker Mazzara looping a pass over for Broome in the right short corner, taking on Phillips. Skipping left corner, Jones. He tries to carve down the lane. Break dances to a stop, kills the dribble, leans in, and draws a whistle as he gets back up. He had his dribble. He clutched the ball, and he created a third foul on Ziegler. That was really skilled.
Yeah, and we have to make sure, like I said, with Ziegler, he is a solid defender, and he has to stay out of foul trouble. He's the one player on the ball team that can't get in foul trouble.
Well, he is now, and he just high-fives Rick Barnes. He walks over to the bench. Ziegler's coming out of the ball game at the horn here. Jones sizes up the right side basket, and the free throw is good for Auburn, and the Tigers have taken a 2-point lead, 38-36, 17-10 to play as Jordan Gainey is in for Ziegler.
Well, hopefully he can come in and pick up where Ziegler left off on the offensive end, because Gainey right now needs to score, not only be a playmaker, but get them involved offensively.
Second one good for Jones. He is perfect from the foul line. 39-36. Auburn with the lead. 17:09 to go. And Jemai Meshack is going to walk it into the front court. They will carousel the point guard duties right now. Off an Okpara screen. It springs a 3 for Lanier in the corner. No good. Rebound tipped out to Auburn. The follow wasn't there. Baker Mazzara clears the rebound. Gets a return feed and lobs it into the post. It's caught by Broome. He'll back in, putting it in reverse like a truck puts it with the left hand off the rim and through. 2 for Broome. The only thing that was missing was that slow beep that the truck does as it's in reverse. 41-36.
He's great if you let him go over that right shoulder.
Foul called on the far side against Auburn. It's going to be Chris Moore and his first personal.
And that's a big when Broome catches that deep. If the double doesn't come, he crab dribbles to where he wants to get to, and he'll go over that right shoulder. And he has a soft touch when the ball hits the rim. That's the shooter's touch.
It does kind of nestle for him, doesn't it? Sometimes it's a line drive, a missile, and then that one was just quaint. Inbound pass caught by Meshack. Tennessee playing without the foul trouble-ridden Zakai Ziegler. So Meshack dribbling with the left hand at the waist. Two hands a pass out to the wing. An Auburn player takes a tumble. Here's a hard drive and a big foul. Cardwell just absolutely labeled the oncoming Gainey. 2 free throws are on the way. Cardwell, I mean, that was a meeting of epic proportion in midair. Gainey got clobbered by Cardwell. He thought he had a free run to the rim. They both were vertical, and Cardwell hammered him with the torso.
Woo. That's aggressive. I don't know how much vertical that is. I thought that was a collapse coming down, but also a big man driving. And as a guard, that's when you have to incorporate that floater. I'm not taking that hit.
No.
No way. With Cardwell coming over, no. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I wasn't going to either, but I'm glad you said it first. All right, they're going to go to the monitor and look at this, and we're going to step aside. It's 16-19. That's a basketball play for me. I don't know about you.
I was about to say, Jason, it's a play-on-play, but in today's game, they look at it and see it. It could be flagrant or excessive.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I thought it was a good, hard foul. But like I said earlier, as a guard, you got to have a floater or just have a backup plan. As soon as I see that big man coming, I keep my dribble alive and take the baseline.
We'll see what they say it is when we come back. 16-19 to go, second half, 41-36 Auburn over Tennessee. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Johnsonville asks, know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up, but it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. I'm the valet at the game, and I'm as tight on cash as this lot is on space. So I'm going to park your way too big truck in this way too small spot. And if you don't have the right auto insurance, this might leave you crunched for cash. So get Allstate, save money, and get protected from mayhem like me. Who's next?
Savings vary based on coverage selected. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these 2 lovebirds get 1 more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
Well, this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Bush's. Bush's Chili Magic makes chili magically fast. Just chop, drop, chili. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC. And by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the SEC.
41-36, Auburn over Tennessee, 16-19 to go in this ballgame. Semifinal number 1 here in the SEC tournament at Bridgestone Arena in downtown Nashville. Game number 2 has Alabama and Florida. Gentlemen, start your engines. Coming up soon. That will be the Crimson Tide and the Gators, roughly 2:30 Central Time, depending on when this game ends. We have been at the monitor a couple of times here, and this play is being reviewed. It was Jordan Gainey in the air, vertical against vertical with Dylan Cardwell. Play on for you, right?
To me, it's a play on. I think as a guard, you have to see that big coming and be able to make adjustment in the air, but also keep your dribble alive. Because when a player like that is coming, he can't stop. There are no breaks.
Don Daly is coming over to the television area and offering an explanation to the TV announcers. It looked like a fairly lengthy explanation that I didn't see the words play on or common foul.
It wasn't that simple.
No, we'll see what, I believe Pat Adams will go to the microphone. He has been the official spokesperson of our crew today. He's the referee and the other 2 the umpires. He jumped center. Pat Adams walking over to the Auburn bench to explain things to the Auburn coaching staff. No official word yet. Right now it's 41-36. It's a common foul. Gainey's going to the free throw line where he's an 80% foul shooter. Transferred from USC Upstate in the Big South Conference.
And hopefully this will get him going. A guy that only made one field goal, and with Zakai Ziegler being on the bench, they need scoring from somewhere other than Chaz Lanier. So much pressure on him to make shots, to make plays. Gainey needs to get involved on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, we've only seen him take a couple of shots. Gainey is 1 for 5. He's 0 for 3 from 3. This is his first trip to the foul line. So no official word, but it's a common foul, and the free throw arches up and through for Gainey, whose father, Justin, was a great point guard at NC State in the late 90s, early 2000s. You guys overlapped by, like a couple days or something? He was 96 to 2000. Wow. You ended at 96, right?
96 was my last year, 92 to 96.
Free throw good for Gainey. It's 41-38. Auburn with the lead over Tennessee. 16-12 to go. Here's a lob from Pettiford deep in the left corner. Baker Mazzara breaks down on the dribble, floats it up. It crawls off the rim. Offensive rebound. Cardwell tried to spin it out. It's intercepted by Meshack. He romps to the rim, and he's fouled from behind by Janai Broome. 2 free throws coming, but Broome did a good job making sure Meshack could not make the goal. Second foul on Broome.
And that's where Tennessee got to get out and get scoring when Zakai Ziegler is not in the game. Transition buckets if you can get those, but getting to the foul line and making free throws works in Tennessee's favor, because what it does, it slows the game down. Tennessee wants to play the slow tempo. They don't want to get out in transition and try to run. They're a half-court set team.
Free throw is good for Meshack, who was 0 for 2 in his first trip. 41-39, Auburn the lead, 16:01 to go. Tennessee has made 103 more free throws than its opponents this year. The Vols do get to the foul line quite a bit. Second one is good.
And you have a Zakai Ziegler, who's one of the quickest guys in the country. It's hard to contain him on the perimeter.
So now Tennessee showing some pressure on Cardwell. Here is Pettiford at the shadow SEC logo on the dark wood at center court. He'll move to the left, bounce it on one sharp bounce to Cardwell and get it right back. And then we have a foul away from the ball on the continuing action underneath the basket. It's against Gainey. I believe that's his second personal foul for Gainey. So 4 on Tennessee, 5 on Auburn already at 15:46 in the second half.
And we know it's going to be a physical game, especially after the first 5 minutes.
It was like they didn't know who they were the first 5 minutes of the game. Here's Broome, left-hand shot, no good, an air ball from 8 feet away. Rebound Tennessee. He's going to hear about that from Rocky Top. Meshack and Gainey in the backcourt. It is Gainey between the circles for Meshack. Demai Meshack looking at Moore, marking him in the man-to-man. Meshack 10 to shoot already for Tennessee, moving down to 15 minutes and a half and in the game. Two-hand pass for Lanier has been quiet lately. He'll try and drive. He'll backpedal to the arc. He'll fire, and it's no good for 3. Way too strong. Rebound for Broome.
Again, that's the shot that Auburn wants them to take, knowing that with Zakai Ziegler not in the game, they're not going to be able to get into the offense the same way he has initiated all season long.
He's such a creator for them, the all-time assist man in Tennessee history. Broome in reverse, spin to the left, and scores. Janai Broome didn't leave that one short. He hit all twine. 43-40 Auburn, 14:44 to go.
Once again, it's hard to double a man when he catches the ball in the center of the court. He can see all the double teams.
3 right wing, Gainey for the tie. He got it. Gainey evens the game for Tennessee. His first hit from deep today.
The Vols needed that 3 from the outside.
Very badly. Just their 4th make from 3. Auburn's only got 3. Everybody's loud here in Nashville. Moore perimeter right against the high hands of Lanier, and he threw it away. Intercepted Okpara on the sideline for Tennessee. And here come the Vols with a slow, meandering walk into the front court. Meshack. Two-hand pass, right wing, Gainey bluffed to 3. Driving Pettiford, lost the ball, got it back. Now out to Meshack on the right side angle. Here is Gainey driving down the lane, spits it out. Outside left, Lanier teetering on the brink, out of bounds, and he saved it. Here is Meshack, 3 to shoot to the foul line. One leg runner off the window, no dice. Rebound deflected. deflected to Okpara. He plays it for Gainey outside left, and he's fouled by Baker Mazzara, whose head recoils in pain at 13:38 to play. A scramble for Tennessee, and look what we have. Rick Barnes' team rebounding itself back into the game.
Yeah, this is my kind of game when you talk about two teams that can play defense, but also two teams that enjoy and love getting after one another.
Yeah, not even the ball, just one another.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although, like, you would think these teams have played each other 2 or 3 times, only once.
Doesn't it feel like that?
But it was a physical game, that one game they played against one another.
Yeah, it was 53-51 if you just joined us. It was an Auburn win late. They closed on a 6-0 run. So 20 back on the shot clock, 13:38 to play. This has been a long defensive possession for Auburn. I mean, Tennessee typically uses about 18 seconds of possession anyway. Inbound Meshack, who took a while. He does sling it in, and a foul called on Moore, who reacts very, very frustrated. He got into the body of Gainey, and it's going to be a 1-and-1 for Tennessee at 13:37 to play. Hope you like free throws.
Well, that's where Zakai Ziegler is going to put so much pressure on the Auburn perimeter players, is now he knows they're in the bonus.
Yep.
And he's one of the best in college basketball at turning the corner, getting downhill, not only for himself, but to make plays for his teammates. Number 5 in orange.
He's back on the floor along with Gainey and Meshack in the backcourt. Free throw on the way for Gainey, and it's good. He knocks it down and gets a second one. And Tennessee with the lead by the slimmest of margins right now, 44-43, 13:37 to go, and the Vols have already taken 13 free throws, now 14, and here's the 15th. We have a lane violation. Okpara tried to go behind Broome, wave off the free throw. And, you know, we left here last night, Tony, thinking that we had seen all the lane violations that everybody was going to see. But Duke Carolina had one, and now here's another one here in this game. And Okpara went behind, actually.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Backward. Broome was in the lane.
Yes, he was in the
there's
lane.
no reason to wave that off. They're going to give him the shot back. The officials talked it over.
That's the reason why you have 3 officials and not 1.
You're right.
6 odds are better than 2.
That's very true. Well, wait a second. Auburn's going to inbound it. No, they're going to count it. They're going to count the free throw. Okay, got it. All right. They're going to say it did count and no butterfly effect. So Auburn basketball trailing by 2. Lob it up for Johnson. He catches and plays it back behind him for Pettiford. Chant of defense from Tennessee, like they needed it with how staunch they are. Pettiford starts his move, jams on the brakes, bounces it, back to Broome, back to the goal. Sharp bounce, Pettiford, 3 left of the circle, is off the front iron, and a rebound foul around the basket, and it's going to go against Tennessee for a hold away from the ball. Meshack is pleading. And let's see. They do get a foul on Tennessee here. They will call it number 5 for the Volunteers. Left wing, long triple. Kelly is good. An absolute rainbow straight through the twine. And Auburn retakes the lead, 46-45.
Great screen. Reed, get your feet set, hands ready, knocking down a long 3 ball.
That was beautiful to watch, just breathtaking as it arched through the air. Now Ziegler staring at Moore. He gets a screen from Okpara. He probes and kicks it from Meshack. Back to Ziegler between the circles. Jockeying on the dribble. Ducks by Broome. Puts it off the window. No. Rebound tipped by Phillips to Auburn. And clutched by Pettiford at the waist. The freshman from Jersey City, the 5-star recruit for Auburn, stalking Ziegler with 3 fouls. Bounce it for Broome in the high post. He'll get it right back up. Hot pass to handle. Kelly has to track it down near the midline. Off to Pettiford. Holding the ball, gripping it at his waist. He sweeps through. Ziegler gets screened by Broome. Here's a move by Pettiford. Left lane line shot, no good. Rebound, reach over by Broome. Does come down with it for Auburn to reset the offense. Left baseline, tuck it in for Broome. On the entry pass. Had it taken away, a back tap. He was too slow with it, and a foul on Pettiford as Meshack came streaking into the front court, and Jemai Meshack will go to the foul line. You can't wait for Tennessee to back tap you because they're going to do it.
No, you can't. Tennessee is one of the most active teams in the country, using their hands and just playing the ball and not always their man.
They did it right there to an Auburn turnover, number 5 only today for the Tigers. We'll step aside. Auburn with a 46-45 lead over 4-seed Tennessee. 11:54 to go. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we're all about fresh, healthy, and delicious. Every shopping trip is an adventure, with new and ahead-of-the-trend products hitting the shelves every month. From the latest mouth-watering vegan and gluten-free cookies to yummy plant-based protein bars, there's always something new to explore. Plus, find more than 2,800 Sprouts brand items filled with incredible flavor and better-for-you ingredients. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts today, the official grocer of the Southeastern Conference.
You're listening to the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
And if you want to grab a snack, grab a Farm Rich snack. Something about that song just makes me hungry. Well, any requests? Oh, how about some mozzarella sticks instead? Folks, it's time for me to grab a snack. Feel free to do the same. You can find Farm Rich in the freezer aisle. This next one goes out to all the cheese lovers out there.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field, but today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
Auburn 46, Tennessee 45. Winner gets either Alabama or Florida in our final tomorrow at noon Central, 1 Eastern time. With Tony Delk, Jason Benetti, our entire marvelous crew here in Nashville. And Auburn has started to assert itself on the boards. 22-19, they're +3 overall. Just 10 combined turnovers in this game. But Janai Broome, 18-5 already. And you said it earlier, he is such an individual force that you know that you have somewhere to go in a pinch if you're Auburn all season long.
And that's what has made them one of the top teams in the country, is they're not making shots. Coach Pearl will slow it down and say, let's play through Janai Broome. And when he catches the ball, he crab dribbles. He sees what's coming from a double team. And when he catches it deep in the paint, especially in the middle of the court, it's hard to double team from there because he can see everything. But he has a soft touch around the basket, excellent footwork. And he's not that above the rim athletic guy. He's a below the rim finisher.
Again, though, you know, coming out of high school, he hadn't played a ton of basketball going into high school. He goes to Tampa Catholic after a couple years at Plant City. He was under-recruited. People didn't think he had the speed to play at the Division I level. And then, you know, you say that now, and the smile that crosses your face is what everybody thinks about that, because he went to Morehead State where they turned out Kenneth Fareed.
Yes.
And he's a more offensively skilled version of that at this point.
And going to mid-major is not always the worst thing for players who go unrecruited. You get a chance to go there and showcase what you can do. You get a chance to learn how to play basketball, which is a transition from high school to the next level of basketball, where there's really good players. And those guys who are coming in as collegiate athletes, all those players have been good somewhere. So now you got to learn how to be a team player and learn how to play the game within a system that doesn't, in high school, revolve around you.
Yeah.
He's a team player.
Will you teach me sometime about that? How to be a team player and have it not revolve around you?
You are great when it comes to throwing the alley-oops, giving it, passing the ball, being a facilitator. You're the best in the business.
I'd rather throw them than catch them. It's just a safer place to be for the insurance company. Meshack at the free throw line at the left end, trying to tie the game for Tennessee. Again, Auburn already has committed 8 fouls in the second half. 8 minutes, 6 seconds in. Meshack's first bid is good. It rattles down for Jemai Meshack, the senior from the state of California. who came here as a strong perimeter defender and has played for Rick Barnes throughout his collegiate career now. Rick in his 10th year.
One of those players that when you put him on the court, you know you're going to get 100% on both sides of the ball. He defends at a high level, and he has the body to protect the rim if someone gets there.
Very sturdy. Second free throw good. Into the front court they go, and a dipsy-do for Kelly on the reverse. He's got two. The teeter-totter goes back to Auburn. 48-47, 11:40 to play. Tennessee basketball. We have an offensive foul. If it's Milicic, that's his fourth. It is. That's the fourth on Milicic on a screen at the far side of the lane, and Rick Barnes gives him a stern talking to, and he'll have to sit there with it for a while.
Again, you have to know time and score. When you have 3 fouls, you can't commit one late, especially when it seems like this is going to be a one-possession game late in the game.
It has been all the way throughout. As here is Auburn basketball, top of the key. Kelly triggers a triple and hits the front iron and falls off the rebound for Tennessee. And here come the Vols right to left. Zakai Ziegler, that slow saunter. He'll angle right and hand it off for Meshack. Dribbling knee high, goes between the legs once or twice. He equips Ziegler high on the left side. He's defended by Johnson, the much taller senior. He'll do the moonwalk between the rings, step to the right, find Dubar, who bluffed on a three. He'll drive middle of the lane, shot up with the right is good. Dubar, dogged down the lane for two.
Just put his head down, drove hard to the right, finished through contact at the rim.
49-48 Tennessee, 10:40 to go. Pettiford, one bounce off to Baker Mazzara. He tries to drive Meshack, puts it up, no dice. Rebound spiked off the backboard by Baker Mazzara to Tennessee and secured eventually by Jemai Meshack.
This is how Tennessee want to play. They want to come, walk the ball down the court and run about 25 seconds off the shot clock before they're attempted.
That's exactly what they've done to pretty good success today. Now Gainey, a standing dribble like a statue with 10 to shoot already. Just a couple of passes deep into the possession, and we have a foul. It's on Kelly, who was tailing Gainey, and that's the fourth on Miles Kelly.
See, this is where you miss Milicic, because he's one of those guys right there. As a dribble handoff, you fake the dribble handoff, drive to the basket. Two guys are going to go with Zakai Ziegler or Lanier, and if you're able to drive the ball, you can finish at the rim. So I expect for them to add skilled players at that position at some point in time. There's Tennessee and Orange. Rick Barnes, the head coach, and he's been exceptional his whole tenure at Tennessee.
Akpara, nothing against him. He just doesn't have that same type of skill set.
Yes.
Free throw on the way, a 1-and-1. Gainey knocks it down. That's the final 1-and-1 for Tennessee in this ball game, and the Vols lead 50-48, 10:09 to play. That's the 18th free throw for Tennessee already in the ball game. Here's number 19. Gainey, one bounce, he fires, and he scores. Gainey's been a menace in the second half. Perfect from the foul line. Tennessee's bench in the candy stripe pants. A couple of them assorted on the left sideline, standing up. Pettiford to drive, right lane line. Scoops it up, too strong. Rebound down for Dubar in Tennessee. Ziegler tunnels into the front court. Drops it off for a drive low on the right. Lanier sends it for Phillips. Mid-lane shot is good for two. First two for Cade Phillips. A big two. Tennessee 53-48.
Quick score baseline drive. Drop it off to the big. Hands are ready. And finish with a quick shot at the rim.
Now Auburn on its heels for the moment. Jones breaks free, left the circle. He is met there by Lanier, hooked to his right hip. Spin it back out on a scoop for Pettiford. 9 to shoot for Auburn. Screen waved off. Pettiford, the freshman, gives it up. Jones left wing. On a drive, carving the lane. Scoop is blocked away. Beautifully done by Lanier. Tennessee right to left. Phillips kicks it out right wing three. Ziegler, a rainbow off the bracket. Rebound back out to Tennessee and Ziegler. He ducks into a pass. Into the right corner it goes Lanier. He'll shove it for Ziegler between the rings. 10 to shoot for Tennessee. Under 9 to go. The Vols looking for a major upset. Off to the left wing, here's Gainey. Charging down the lane. His shot is blocked away by Johnson. Auburn on the flip trip coming left to right. Here is Pettiford hopping into a three. Left wing. That's no good short. Rebound flicked up in the air. Taken by Lanier with the elbows out. And Tennessee will tap the brakes.
It's right now just calming down, just getting screens set. Ball's going to move around, get that defensive shift. That is Auburn in white.
Here's a pull in here. It's for two left side. It's good, just inside the arc. You heard the twine get ripped by Lanier. 55-48 Tennessee. 8:16 to go. Timeout, Bruce Pearl. Good time for Lanier's first bucket of the second half, and the Vols lead by 7. We'll step aside here in Nashville. Tennessee, 55-48, 8:17 to go second half. This is the SEC Radio Network.
When it comes to action-packed highlights, there's nothing like the SEC. And when it comes to packing your game day celebration with deliciousness, there's nothing quite like Bush's Beans. As the official beans of the SEC, we offer big taste for every fan and every tailgate, even if it never leaves your backyard. Come to think of it, we're kind of like the power conference of flavor. So draw up that beautiful bean game plan and stock up on your favorites. Bush's, that beautiful bean company.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun. Early morning hunting fun. Late night, need new cleats before tomorrow morning's game fun. Relaxing fun. Mouth-watering fun. So whatever fun adventure you're gearing up for, you'll find it for less at Academy Sports and Outdoors and at academy.com.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these two lovebirds get one more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
Well, this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Have fun out there. Gatorade, the official sports drink of the SEC. Gatorade, it fuels the best because it is the best. By Regions, official bank of the SEC. And by T-Mobile 5G home internet.
55-48 Tennessee, 8:17 to go second half. And Tony Delk, Tennessee's defense has gotten them there right now.
Yes, it has. You talk about a team that can guard you in the half court. They're really good when guys are driving from the perimeter. We know how well they defend the three-point line, but I give them credit for a team that's going to play fast and up-tempo like Auburn, Florida, Alabama. They know how to get back in transition. And transition defense means we're not going to the basket for an offensive rebound. We're going to sprint back and guard the three-point line and make it tough for them. And that's what Tennessee has done an excellent job of.
Even when Tennessee, in the rare occasion they've turned it over just 6 times, Auburn has a grand total of 9 points off 6 turnovers, and if you're not going to be able to be in the open floor against Tennessee, they will drag you into their type of game.
Well, a team that doesn't try to gamble, when they turn the ball over. The bad team or young players, when they turn the ball over, they're trying to gamble to get a steal back. Tennessee knows, hey, these are collegiate players that know how to play basketball. We got to run back, protect the paint, and guard the three-point line.
This Volunteers team opened the season 14-0. They have wins at Louisville. They won at Illinois. They've beaten Baylor as well. They also, just looking ahead to the possibility of tomorrow, they did beat Alabama. They split with Florida. So Tennessee is 2-1 against the possible opponents down the road. And whatever you get out of this final, with the way this game should be played in a quarry, right, and the next game should be played on a drag strip, you're going to get some version of slow versus fast.
Right. What Tennessee has, they can play different styles, but Tennessee brings something that a lot of teams don't bring: defense. Defense travels.
And it has here to Nashville, certainly. Auburn basketball trailing by 7. Above the foul line, here is Jones floating it up. It's a Cardwell attempted a stuff, and he got fouled on the way through, trying to hammer it home. Dylan Cardwell will go to the free throw line where he'd rather not be. He's 17 for 52 at the free throw line this season.
You know what? That's a great foul. Anytime he catches the ball in a position where he's about to score, I would tell our players foul him every time he gets the ball down there. They can earn them at the stripe.
And he will. He takes a breath. He fires, and it's too strong off the heel. That was the third foul on Okpara. He's got 3. Milicic has 4. So that's certainly something to keep an eye on against Janai Broome down low. Cardwell on a powerhouse McEachern High School bends the knees and scores the second free throw. So Auburn breaks that 8-0 run for Tennessee. It's 55-49 Volunteers. How many possessions are left is the real question. And we get a foul with a massive collision right in front of us. It is Dubar down on the ground, and it's going to be Auburn called for the foul. That is Moore getting spatulaed up by his teammates, and free throws coming for Darlington Dubar.
I want to say they've been in the penalty since the 16-minute mark.
Since the Eisenhower administration. It was right around the under 16 timeout.
It was. But you have to credit Tennessee. They're not settling for three-point shots. When you have a team in the penalties that late in the game, I'm telling my players, put your head down, drive to the basket, under control, and let's get something at the rim and put the onus on the referees to make calls.
They just did. Free throw is good for Dubar. Tennessee is 18 of 20 from the free throw line today. That is 90%. Second one is true. It crawled over the front of the rim and dropped through. 57-49. Volunteers 8:05 to play. Jones claws at the basketball, picks it up, and goes walking into the front court. Denver Jones on a dribble handoff for Pettiford, the freshman. He's been really hot from 3 coming into this tournament. He'll cycle it to the right side for Moore, wanting Broome. He's denied that pass in close quarters. 10 to shoot for Auburn. They'll lob it up backdoor. Cardwell tipped it into the corner and taken away by Okpara for Tennessee. Cardwell looked like a skyscraper in the Nashville skyline, but never really pulled down the ball.
That's a freshman mistake that was set up by Cardwell, and you don't do that. You make him run a play and not look for a lob.
You're just not going to have that many possessions left in this game, right?
Yes, they're going to bleed the clock now. Trust me when I tell you that.
Ziegler probing left of the circle, rifles a 3. It's good! Zakai Ziegler is cold. 60-49 Tennessee.
The experience of Zakai Ziegler, understanding the situation, being able to make shots from the outside, and not taking any risks like Pettiford did.
Man, does he know the situation like nobody's business, and a foul called as they attack Janai Broome on the catch. And it will be a 1-and-1 for Broome as we step aside. Meshack can't believe the foul call, but Tennessee has all the momentum, Tony.
And also just in conference play, these teams, I know they've only played once, but the coaches know each other. So when you have conference games, it's a lot harder to win these games than it is playing against an opponent you don't know.
And that is all we have left in the SEC tournament. Top 8 teams, all top 4 seeds, top 8 in the country. 6:59 to go, second half. It's Tennessee 60, Auburn 49. This is the SEC Radio Network.
The Southeastern Conference. It's the land of legends, the places, the faces, and moments.
And he's going for it. It's a touchdown!
We've seen the confetti fall again and again. We're not done. It's time for the next generation to make their mark and go from 14 deep to 16 strong. It's a whole new ball game in the SEC, and it just means more.
Live from Nashville, this is the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
In SEC country, the key to our confidence comes from having a goal.
Cover 3, ready?
And knowing just how we're going to get there.
8 seconds, it's plenty of time.
So in these pivotal moments, we come together for inspiration and a plan. Financial confidence in SEC country works that way too, when you and your banker get together to create your personal Regions Green Print plan.
I think that'll really work. Thanks.
So let's huddle up, because in an SEC world, we're the SEC Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
T-Mobile 5G home internet keeps getting better. Get our fastest connection loaded with benefits. Get T-Mobile's best home internet starting at $55 a month with auto pay and any voice line. Plus, Price Lock. We won't raise your rate on internet. Check availability at T-Mobile.com/home internet.
Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. Guarantees regular monthly rate plan price of fixed wireless 5G internet data with qualifying service. After $15 bill credit with postpaid voice line plus $5 a month without auto pay with debit or bank account. Regulatory fees included for qualifying accounts. $35 connection charge applies. Speeds vary due to factors affecting cellular networks.
60-49 Tennessee over Auburn. 6:59 to play in our semifinal number 1 here in Nashville. And Tony, you mentioned Tennessee's transition defense. To go along with that, Auburn's only turned it over 5 times this half, but Tennessee has scored on all of them. 11 points off turnovers. All the turnovers for Auburn they have paid for.
Right. And when you think about Auburn, a team that scores in transition, they get back, they get lobs at the rim, they get Broome running down the lane as a rim runner, and they get open threes. Tennessee has taken all of that away. Yeah. And that's the greatness of a coach like Rick Barnes, understanding the strengths of one team and taking them away early. And right now, they're struggling. Auburn is struggling to score because, as Broome catches the ball in the low block, everybody's paying attention. He has 10 eyes on him at all times. And especially when they're not making shots from the outside, all the pressure's on him to score.
And as a guard, when you aren't making those shots, what does that do to the spacing on the floor and your post-entry ideas here?
But what it does, it shrinks the court. Now, instead of guys guarding you 25 feet out, they're more about 17 feet, knowing if the ball go inside, those guys are going to be digging. And once the ball comes out, they're going to either chase you off the line or challenge you vertically to make shots from outside. And here's something else, too. Jason, there's no rhythm. When you're not making shots from outside, there's no rhythm. So when the ball, even though the ball is kicked out, when you have made a shot in like 8 to 10 minutes, you're not making that shot.
You feel that.
Oh, we know that. We know that as a player. You know it's not going in.
That's why Tennessee's on a 13-1 run in the last 3:54. Janai Broome at the foul line. It's a 1-and-1. He bends the knees. He puts it up and trickles it in. His last 3 free throws, if you put them on top of one another, they had the exact same result. Front iron, backboard, and through.
Soft touch by the big that has, when it comes off that left hand, fingertip, and hits the rim slightly and goes in.
That one too strong. Rebound, battle for it, hands in the air, and it is wrestled away by Gainey, and he is fouled. Gainey fouled by Baker Mazzara for Auburn. 2 free throws coming, and that will not be the last time we say that. Tennessee, who shot 35 free throws in the win over Texas, will shoot number 22 and 23 right here today.
Also, Tennessee takes on the personality of their leader, which is Zakai Ziegler. He's a tough player. And when you have players around him, they're going to play hard, they're going to compete at a high level, and they're going to play tough basketball. That's how you win these kind of games against a team that has one of the best scoring margins in the game.
First free throw good, second one on the way and true as well. 62-50. Gainey makes both. You think about what they missed with Ziegler injured a couple of years ago at the end of the season. They were a shell of their former selves. He is full strength, and he is one of the best passers in all of basketball. Baker Mazzara breaking down the lane on a kick into the corner into a near travel, and they'll work it out of there with Kelly. Around the arc it goes Jones. Pops it into the post, wide right of the lane for Broome. A skip pass across the lane, and a score for Cardwell. Nice cross-lane find, big to big.
There's no rush right now with Tennessee bringing the ball down the court. The pressure's on Auburn to get stops here and not foul.
This is a total vice grip on the game for Tennessee right now. 6:15 to play, 62-52 Volunteers. Big-time gridlock at the right wing. It is caught eventually over there by Lanier. He'll play it back for Ziegler with 7 to shoot. Ziegler starts his move, and we get a whistle. He was hip-to-hip with Baker Mazzara, and Ziegler will go to the free throw line.
You can't let Ziegler get downhill. You have to stay attached to Chaz Lanier, and he puts so much pressure on you with the ball in his hands. You got to figure out, you got to stop him. And now with him making that last 3, the players know, okay, he's making shots from outside, but also he's a threat driving the ball to the rim.
He's got basically everything in his game, and he's 7 for 7 from the foul line. This one he rifles up and scores. 8 for 8 from the free throw line for Zakai Ziegler today. He's got 19 for Tennessee. He is the high man. He also has 3 assists to his name and a couple of rebounds as well, and still only 3 fouls.
And the ball will be in his hand the remainder of this game. But these next 6 minutes, Zakai Ziegler will do most of the ball handling and decision making.
Second one good. Lead is a dozen for Tennessee. 6 minutes flat to go for Auburn. Trying to protect its 1 seed in the SEC tournament. Floated into the post and a high post for Broome. Wide right of the lane. Rolls a pass up top. Baker Mazzara clangs into a body. Fires a 3. It's good. Oh, man. He was shoulder to shoulder with Gainey. Smitty, then he hucked it up and knocked it down.
Perfect timing, but what Coach Pearl is telling his guys, play defense, slide your feet without fouling.
Bruce Pearl's shirt untucked on the far sideline, ready and raring to go. 64-55. Here is Lanier breaking down on the dribble. He'll backpedal. He'll fire from just in front of the logo and hit only the backboard. Rebound for Jones. Weird shot.
Bad shot. Should have taken advantage of the mismatch, having a slow big on him.
This could be a game changer right there. Here is Broome on the catch. He's passed out of this in the right short corner. He'll wheel in the lane and get fouled on the way up. Yeah, Tennessee is so confident in its shot selection, and that was just totally out of the rhythm of the offense from Lanier.
It was. It's one of those plays where put your head down, drive to the basket, especially when you have Janai Broome, who doesn't have the quickness on the perimeter to guard him. I would have rather for him to put the ball on the floor and try to get to the foul line.
Instead, they'll get 2 shots. The 4th foul on Akpara, by the way, gets you there. And Broome to the free throw line. He straightens out, catches the ball, dribbles it a couple of times. Foul shot on the way, and good for Janai Broome. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the SEC Radio Network. Second foul shot is good for Janai Broome. You've joined us for the 1-4 game in the SEC semifinals. Now some heat from Auburn on the inbound. And a whistle and a 5-second call. They couldn't get it in. Auburn brought the blitz. Tennessee wasn't ready for it, and a turnover vols.
They did catch Tennessee off guard. They didn't expect for pressure, but when you're behind, you got to throw something different at this Tennessee ball team that's going to try to walk the ball down the court.
Boy, if Auburn wins this game, it's going to be in part because of that Lanier shot that really started to get Auburn revving the engine again. And they'll inbound it for Broome through Cardwell between the circles. Here's a drop-off. Jones for Kelly. His 3 is good. He rifled it home from the summit. 64-60. Miles Kelly, everything you like for Auburn. In a 4-point game, 4:50 to go.
Once again, you're never out of the game when there's a 3-point line and guys can make threes from the outside.
Timeout, Rick Barnes. Cardwell using all of his wingspan at 6'11" to reach to the sky and call for the Auburn fans to cheer, and War Eagle is feeling it right now. That happened fast, Tony. I mean, I don't want to overplay this, but the Lanier shot handed all the momentum to Auburn.
Yes. Right now, Auburn is on an 8-0 run, mainly because that shot went up and gave them a chance to get out in transition, get to the foul line, and now you really have to guard the 3-point line a lot tighter than you have it before. And that's what Auburn has done an excellent job of all year, making shots when they're down. And they haven't been down much, but they have guys that can make it on the perimeter. And the 3-point line is a neutralizer in all of college basketball. Even though you might have a lead, guys can still make shots from outside and get themselves back in the game. And that's what Auburn Tigers have done.
Yeah, and they're 35th in the country in three-point percentage. They're 37% for the year. It's a very good shooting team, Auburn is generally. They just haven't against Tennessee so far this year. 64-60, 4:48 to go.
To your point, Jason, Tennessee is one of the best teams in the country at closing out under control and not giving up easy 3-point shots.
Bruce Pearl was rambunctious on the sideline. He was thrilled with his Auburn team's response in this case. 64-60, 4:48 to play here in Nashville. An 8-0 run in exactly 1 minute. Auburn has made 3 straight field goals, and now Tennessee is back in a game. Just like the Texas game yesterday, Texas had no business being involved down the stretch. Tennessee missed some free throws, made some mistakes. Here we are again. Ziegler surveying off to Lanier outside left. Back to Ziegler at center court. Ziegler, they hedge on him with 2. He drives to the foul line and throws it off the hands of Milicic, out of bounds over the sideline at 4:30 to play. Too hot to handle for Milicic.
Well, Tennessee can get stagnant sometime on defense. We've seen this all year with the team that can score, but also a team that in a half-court set, it's hard sometimes when you don't have the inside player to go to.
And foul trouble for both bigs as well. Here is Jones, a sharp bounce off to the near side right. Baker Mazzara flaring up there for Broome, backing in, sizing up Okpara with 4 fouls. Broome back to his shoulder, turns, fires, window, good. 2-point game, 10-0 run, Auburn, 4:08 to go.
Once again, having a low post threat in Janai Broome, SEC Player of the Year. He can go off either shoulder and score, but he prefers going over that right shoulder.
And he did. Quick bounce pass out of bounds on a touch feed. Ziegler looks at Milicic. I tell you what, Dylan Cardwell might have a future with the Boston Pops Orchestra. The way he's using his arms to conduct the fans on the near side. Auburn has every bit of energy in this game, Tony.
Well, you got to look at what they've done. Like you said, going back to Chaz Lanier, 25-foot ill-advised three-point shot. That kind of got them going. But right now, what they're doing an excellent job of is making sure that we're not letting them in the paint. And as Coach Pearl told them, let's play defense without fouling.
And they have. And the finish line is in sight for both teams. 64-62 Tennessee over Auburn. 3:56 to go. Come back with us. This is the SEC Radio Network.
At Academy Sports and Outdoors, we've spent 80-plus years in the business of fun. Expert fishing fun.
What's up, basketball fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us this afternoon for the SEC tournament. The first matchup of the day is underway, and we are so glad you're here hanging out with us. Now, please, it's the time of the show for you to let us know where in the world you're watching from. You see the link that's pinned in the chat? You see the link that's getting spammed out in the chat right now? Click that, and that's going to take you to our website to show you where everyone in the world is watching from. We'll see you back in the chat. Thanks for letting us know. Thanks for checking out the new website as well, and good luck to your team.
We know that sport has the power to change lives on and off the field, but today, the majority of kids in the U.S. are no longer playing sports. As the leader in fueling athletes, Gatorade is committed to helping reverse this trend and creating positive change across our communities. That's why Gatorade has launched Fuel Tomorrow, a new multi-year initiative to help everyone have equal opportunity to play sports and realize their potential. Learn more about Gatorade's commitment to break down barriers and help millions of kids get into the game by visiting Gatorade.com/community.
SEC basketball is brought to you all week long by Bush's. Bush's Chili Magic makes chili magically fast. Just chop, drop, chili. Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC. And by Southwest Airlines, the official airline of the SEC.
The belief is that Auburn is going to be the #1 overall seed in the NCAA tournament no matter what. They're trying to protect that here. 64-62 Tennessee leading Auburn, 3:56 to play. Back on January the 25th, the month after Christmas, they played to 53-51, an Auburn victory on a late three from Miles Kelly. Tennessee had a chance to take the lead. That went wanting. Here, in a 2-point game again, Auburn, Tony, was down big, 64-52. They've stormed back. How have they done it?
They've done it because, like I said, Chaz Lanier took an ill-advised shot. Auburn was able to get out in transition, got a foul, got to the foul line, and then they made 2 tough threes that Tennessee was there playing good defense. And the three-point line, to me, is always keep the team in the game if you have enough three-point shooting. And then you have a go-to player, Janai Broome, who can catch it on the low block, and he can score it on any of Tennessee interior defensive players. He's that good.
We've seen it all season long for Janai Broome. And by the way, the guys guarding him, Milicic and Okpara, have 4 personal fouls each. So they are on the verge of leaving this game.
Well, Milicic, you think about the last 2 possessions of Tennessee, there's a Kai Ziegler pass on the left wing, out of bounds. A pass where he should have been curling to the basket, went out of bounds. So where's he at now? On the bench.
Yeah, he's not playing. Phillips is in with Okpara. So Cade Phillips, the sophomore out of Jacksonville, Alabama. whose dad was a quarterback and defensive back for the Crimson Tide, is playing some significant minutes to see if they might play the Crimson Tide tomorrow. Here is Denver Jones working the dribble into the front court. He's met by Ziegler. He puts a shoulder and elbow into Ziegler and whips it to the high right side. Baker Mazzara tries to lob a pass. Caught by Broome. His shot from 2 feet, no good. And the rebound is hauled in by Tennessee and Akpara.
Great play ball called by Coach Pearl, having everyone lifted on the weak side. And that was a play for Broome to score.
Lanier pulls for 2. Left angle, no good. Follows, shoved in by Phillips. It toilet bowled down for him. That had a lot of velo on it, and Tennessee leads by 4. 66-62, the chanted defense for Tennessee. Floated for Broome. They'll double with Phillips. He'll zip it out top. Jones a drive down the boulevard. He's fouled on the way up. Tennessee's not going to like it out of a double team in creamsicle orange. 2 free throws coming for Denver Jones, who has been perfect from the line not only today, but in the last 9 games.
He's one of those guys late game. You want to have the ball in his hand. He's an excellent foul shooter. And just, I like the versatility of the bigs coming over to try to block his shot, but Denver Jones knows how to get to the foul line. And that's the player you want there.
Couple of dribbles. He stares at the goal and fires and scores. Denver Jones, who came in 23 of 23 from the foul line the last 8 games. He's now 30 for 30 in his last 30 free throws.
Excellent foul shooter.
Second one on the way. Line drive, he missed it.
I think we jinxed him over here.
I tried to all game, and it didn't work, so it wasn't me. 66-63 Tennessee. 3 minutes to go in Nashville. It's a lob down low on the left. Caught by Phillips. Tried a one-timer shot. No good. Front iron. Rebound for Auburn. Coming left to right. Hit the post. Here's Broome surveying the scene. Whip it far left side. 3 in the air for the tie. No good. It danced off for Kelly in the rebound. Tennessee. 2:40 to go.
Again,
by 3.
Again, they got the look they wanted. Cross-court pass. Open 3. Just did knock the shot down.
Now Tennessee will be very deliberate. Ziegler, a standing dribble, leaning over the right-handed dribble. 2 hands a pass. Here's a hard drive down the lane. It's up and good on the shot from Gainey with the left hand. Tennessee leads by 5, 68-63. On the other end, Baker Mazzara drops it into the post. Here's Broome on a high skip, caught by Kelly off to Jones. Catch and shoot 3 left of the circle is around it out. Rebound down for Tennessee and Zakai Ziegler. 68-63 Tennessee. Under 2 minutes to play. Winner gets either Alabama or Florida. Ziegler scanning the horizon for a teammate. Crossing over on the dribble, right of the circle, starts his move, flares it up, Akpara, tough rising catch, lost the ball, had it crowbarred free. Here comes Auburn left to right. Kelly speeding into the front court with 2-tone shoes and a whistle. We have a shot clock issue or something here. 1:31 to go. Cardwell is injured, it looks like, for Auburn, and he's going to walk off. So Chaney Johnson's going to come in for Cardwell. They stop play at 1:31 to go. Tennessee by 5, 68-63. Remember, Auburn closed on a 6-0 run back in January to win that game in Alabama. What a game, Tony.
Yeah, they're not out of it. Like I said, they're 1 3-point shot from being 2 points down. 2-possession game.
Baker Mazzara sweeps through with the ball. 15 to shoot. He's marked by the high hands of Gainey. Tries to drive in left baseline. Turns to his right hand. Flares it up off the window and good. Man, you could hear the squeal of the brake pads. It's a 3-point game. 68-65. 1:10 to go.
Auburn has to get a stop without fouling. Tennessee needs to get something going to the rim.
Zakai Ziegler, the senior, the SEC Defensive Player of the Year with a minute to go at the steering wheel for Tennessee in orange. Ziegler breaks left, fires for Gainey, touch pass Phillips. He's double teamed low on the left. He'll elevate and miss. Tip on the weak side, no good. Akpara, it crawled off the rim, and we have a whistle underneath the basket. Don Daly blows it dead. There is an injured player for Auburn. It is Chad Baker Mazzara holding his knee. on the left side of the basket stanchion with 47.4 to go. He's got his arm wrapped around Denver Jones, and they'll walk him to the sideline. Whew. What a game.
Gotta love it. This is March Madness at its best.
This could be a Final Four game. This could be an NCAA championship game. It feels like it. It's Tennessee by 3, 68-65. 47 4/10 to go. You said it earlier. Auburn has some good three-point shooters.
They do.
6 for 19 today from 3, but they're a willing three-point shooting team. They're 35th in the country.
Yeah, they get the shots they want. It's not like they're getting challenge threes. Broome sees the double team coming. He's making the cross-court pass. Those guys have to knock the shot down.
Inbound pass goes to Kelly, and Miles Kelly, the transfer from Georgia Tech, wanders into the front court. Watched by Gainey. Dribble handoff for Denver Jones. To Kelly again at the left angle. Flip it in for Broome. Backing in on Okpara. He takes him all the way down deep. Missed the shot. Missed the follow. And we have a whistle on his second chance against Tennessee. Broome will go to the free throw line on the 5th foul against Okpara on the rebounding action with 29.2 to go.
Thought Okpara played really good defense, walling up, but the only problem with Broome is he knew that shot was off, and he was quick back to get the ball off the rim. So it's definitely going to be a questionable call.
That's not a good call at all on Okpara.
No, it's not.
Watching the replay, he wasn't actually near Janai Broome. You could actually move that foul against Phillips and have it make more sense. They're calling Tennessee back onto the floor, so Okpara is out of the game. They're going to have to go small here. It's Lanier, Gainey, Meshack, Ziegler, and Cade Phillips at 6'9" on a Jacksonville, Alabama is the big for Tennessee. Broome at the foul line is 5 for 10 today. His Auburn Tigers trail by 3. Some are saying Broome, some are removing the R, the M, and the E. Free throw. No good.
In the words of Rasheed Wallace, ball don't lie.
The always quotable rebounder. Broome leans back at the right side basket. 2 dribbles, bends the knees, fires. He missed it shortly, overcorrected. Rebound out of bounds over the end line. And let's see, they're going to go to the monitor and take a look at it. For now, I believe it's Tennessee basketball, but this is reviewable at 28.2 to go. So Johnson was trying to rescue it at the end line. The question is, did he come down with the ball out of bounds? They did blow it dead already, so you'd need to have enough evidence to overturn that call.
Let's see what happens here. Ooh. Looks like Auburn to me. It goes off of them.
The ball lands on the end line before Johnson tries to save it. So it's 68-65 Tennessee. It was a 10-0 run to draw within 2 for the Auburn Tigers. Then Tennessee created a little space for itself and trying to save the day here down the stretch. Alabama and Florida are having to wait, and this is a very worthy thing to have to wait for, is this game, and it's going to be Tennessee basketball. So 68-65, the shot clock's off, so you're going to have to either steal it or foul at some point. How early do you foul?
I think you go for the steal first. You don't get steal or trap. That's when you foul. You want to have enough time to come down, maybe take a 3, get it 2 quickly, and have time on the shot clock and make them take the ball out again.
Each team does have 2 timeouts remaining, so there's some leeway here for Tennessee on the inbound pass. Remember, there was a 5-second call just a couple of minutes ago.
Yes,
Tennessee couldn't get the ball in against the Auburn Heat. They will inbound it from left of the basket stanchion. Milicic is back in. He will key it in for Tennessee. looking for another massive win for its resume. Inbound from Milicic. Looking, ball over his head. He bounced it in, got it to Ziegler. Out of the double team, tries to backpedal his way. And a tie-up called. Auburn reaches in to get the alternating possession, and it's going to stay with Tennessee at 26.6 to go. Boy, they collapsed on Ziegler very quickly. Broome reached in and got the tie-up.
Yeah, that's the worst plays of the guard to catch the ball, especially being that small, not being able to see over the trees.
Pardon me, it is Auburn basketball in the alternating possession. Auburn has it, trailing by 3. So the inbound from the sideline, 26.6 to go. Johnson will inbound it, and he bounces it for Broome. Catching top of the circle, Baker Mazzara to Kelly, who dropped the ball left wing. He bluffs the 3. He's met by Phillips. Off to Broome, pass into traffic. Tip Baker Mazzara, right wing 3 for the tie. Hit the front iron, and the rebound deflected out of bounds with 14.2 to go. And it's going to be Tennessee basketball for now, but they will go to the monitor and take a look again.
A lot of looking at the monitor, but they want to get it right because both of these teams think, like you said, Auburn has the number 1 seed. I think Tennessee is fighting for number 1 seed.
The official call is that it's Auburn basketball on the deflection right now. But again, they're going to the monitor, and we're seeing a couple looks at it here. It is a very close play. Broome goes over the top and pushes it. But who touched it last is the question. And it looks like there might be a Tennessee hand in there. So we'll see what they come up with.
If my eyes serve me correctly, it should be Auburn's ball.
I'm with you. I think it's Auburn basketball. So 68-65, 14.2 to go. Auburn and Tennessee playing for the right to face either Alabama or Florida. Yeah, there's a second deflection there, and it's off of Meshack. So this should be pretty quick here.
Yeah. Review, the call on floor is reversed. It would be Tennessee's basketball with 14.8 seconds on the game clock.
Well, maybe my eyes didn't serve me correctly.
Tony, I am absolutely baffled by that. There's no way that's Tennessee basketball.
Okay.
I mean, we're watching a closed-circuit replay of it. Oh, you know what? Actually, from the backside,
yeah,
we just got a better look at it.
Yeah,
I think they're right.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of an optical illusion. But that last look.
It's all about angles.
You saw what I saw the first time,
I did.
Right?
I saw that angle, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, it is Tennessee basketball. And now the officials are over at the basket stanchion.
I don't know what this play is, but somebody's going long.
Auburn's coaches are all standing up saying, get on the ball here. 14.8 to go. Inbound pass coming from Milicic. He holds on to it for a while, and we have a whistle, and we have a timeout for Rick Barnes. That could have been 5.
I didn't like that play call, but normally you have 4 players across the baseline. 1 player is going long, and I think Milicic is looking for the player going long. But it's a risky pass.
Well, this has been an interesting final 30 seconds or so. There's 14.8 to go. It's 68-65, Tennessee with the lead over Auburn. Tennessee has been outstanding from the foul line. They're 23 of 25 from the free throw line.
Yeah, they might want to take this 4 guys across the baseline out of the play if you're not trying to throw the ball long. So somebody usually in a 4 guys across the baseline, someone's going to take the long run, and you got to make that pass.
What would you do here?
You know what? I really don't like having too many people in the backcourt. I think you need to have Zakai Ziegler in the backcourt, right around the NBA three-point line. Maybe have two guys at half court, one guy on the strong side of the ball, guy taking the ball out of bounds, and then your five guy all the way down the court. You don't want to have too many people in the backcourt because that allows Auburn to trap them quickly.
So they have scattered here. Tennessee has a bunch of orange jerseys right around the top of the circle in their own defensive area. Milicic will inbound it. Janai Broome in front of him. 14.8 to go. One timeout left for Tennessee. Milicic had Ziegler running deep. Now he'll heave it a little late. Meshack with a catch, and he nearly traveled. He got clobbered and fouled by Baker Mazzara. 2 free throws coming for Meshack. Fourth on Baker Mazzara. 2 free throws for Meshack, who is 76% at the foul line. He barely kept his footing there.
Actually, I know they were not going to call him, but he traveled.
I thought he did too, real time, but
So in a play like that, Zakai Ziegler was the one that was open on the long pass, but you know, it's a risky play. It's one of those plays you go over at practice, and you got to have a late game situational play, and that's what it was.
.14 seconds to go. Tennessee is huddling right now after Meshack went down.
He's got to make free throws. That's what it's going to come down to.
Yeah, we'll see if he can stay in the game. I mean, he took a pretty big hit. Meshack was doubled over at the far side. He's the guy that should be at the foul line, and he is going to stay in the game to take the free throws. Jemai Meshack, senior, longtime volunteer, grips the ball, up by 3, bends the knees, free throw, good. Phillips back in, Milicic is out, offense, defense, 14 seconds to go. Meshack at the left end. 4-point game. Auburn will have to hustle no matter what on this free throw. Second one is there. 70-65, Tennessee the lead. 14 seconds to go. Inbound for Jones, racing into the front court with 10. Left of the circle, drive, wheeling toward the lane. Fires it back out for Kelly. 5 seconds left. He heaves a 3, draws front iron, and Zakai Ziegler runs it down. Tennessee withstands the Auburn charge, and the Volunteers are going to the SEC Tournament Final tomorrow at noon Central. 70-65 the final score.
One of those games that could have went either way. Came down to possession, free throws, and late game decision making.
Auburn has lost all of 5 times this season, but 3 of them have come this month. They do get a little extra time off. They take the loss here to Tennessee, and the Tigers will certainly be a 1 seed. The question is, can Tennessee help itself to a 1 seed as well? We'll see what Florida and Alabama have to say about that in our second game. What an effort defensively from the Volunteers, though, Tony.
It was. You know, we talked about it earlier, like how they play defense in the half court. They stop you from getting to the rim. They guard the three-point line, and one of the best teams in the country at getting back in transition and not giving up easy buckets.
Auburn 6 for 20 from 3. Tennessee 5 for 19. It was an absolute grinder, but Tennessee got the job done. And so the Volunteers go to 27-6. They are 10-2 in their last 12 ball games, and they will find their way to the championship game in the SEC tournament. Zakai Ziegler has a headset. Congratulations,
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it.
You are so fun to watch.
I appreciate it.
When you had 3 fouls, though, you know, we were wondering, like, how much will he play? What did Rick Barnes say to you when you had that 3rd foul?
Yep, he told me just be smart. You know, I came back in the game, and I was just doing my best job of just still being aggressive on offense and defense, but also being smart and trying not to pick up that 4th foul quick.
How do you do that with the way you play, though? How do you find that middle ground?
Show hands and, you know, just keep being aggressive. Just keep doing the same thing. Just try not to reach as much, I guess.
Now, coming back from the ACL tear, I know you really want to get back and help lead this team to where you're at right now.
Yeah.
What was the mindset when you got hurt?
Yeah, well, really, it took me a few weeks to, you know, get past that point where I was like, man, I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know if I'm coming back to see him. You know, me and Coach G and my athletic trainer, Coach Chad Newman, you know, we had a lot of talks, and it was just like, you know, it's either I'm gonna get down and sulk on myself, or I'm gonna just get past it. And, you know, I did a pretty well job of getting past it.
And I was telling Jason, you remind me of one of my former teammates, Muggsy Bogues. Had you got that comp before?
A little. Sometimes, you know, Coach Barnes, when he was recruiting me, you know, he brought it up a few times.
Hey, congratulations. Always fun to watch. Good luck in the final, all right?
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Zakai Ziegler, ladies and gentlemen. He's perfect from the foul line. 20 points, 5 for 11 from the floor. He does everything. 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Good night.
But just an excellent kid. You can just tell, like, coming back off the injury, he was more motivated than ever to get back to help this team get to where they are right now. He's a leader. He's tough on defense, and you can win games with the ball in his hands.
And they did once again. One of the winningest players in Tennessee history. Final score 70-65 Tennessee over Auburn. Game 2 coming up shortly. Florida and Alabama. Stephen Hartzell after the break. This is the SEC Radio Network.
Sonic Radio. It's time for my favorite segment, Ask the CIO. Hey, caller, you're on.
Hi, a big fan. I used to think I could never love another burger more than my favorite. Then I tried the Sonic Smasher. With its tangy smasher sauce, melty cheese, and hand-smashed Angus patties seared to crispy perfection. How do I tell my favorite burger it's been replaced?
Easy. You don't. It's a burger. It has no feelings.
Sonic Smasher. Try it as a double or a triple. Live free, eat Sonic. See menu for details.
At Sprouts Farmers Market, we're all about fresh, healthy, and delicious. Every shopping trip is an adventure, with new and ahead-of-the-trend products hitting the shelves every month. From the latest mouth-watering vegan and gluten-free cookies to yummy plant-based protein bars, there's always something new to explore. Plus, find more than 2,800 Sprouts brand items filled with incredible flavor and better-for-you ingredients. Visit your neighborhood Sprouts today, the official grocer of the Southeastern Conference.
You're listening to coverage of the SEC Men's Basketball Tournament on the SEC Radio Network.
On Southwest, everyone can change or cancel their flight without a fee. That means this solo travel queen can stay an extra day on vacay. No fee, baby. And these 2 lovebirds get 1 more day of freedom.
Our kids won't miss us. They're with me, Ma.
While this poor guy can bail on the bachelor party a night early.
I'm tired, man.
No change or cancel fees. For real. That's a big flex. Only at Southwest. Fare difference may apply. Failure to cancel a reservation at least 10 minutes prior to scheduled departure may result in forfeited flight credits.
Johnsonville asks, know why they're called sausage links? Because they have the power to link people together. Isn't that beautiful? I read that somewhere, or maybe I just made it up. But the point is, instead of stirring the pot on social media to drive people apart, let's stir the jambalaya or the Italian sausage rigatoni. And you just watch. Johnsonville sausage links link people, just like the sausage patties is a way people pat each other on the back. Okay, that I totally made up, but it's also very true. Keep it juicy out there.
Another team is moving on. Time now for the postgame show, brought to you by Mercedes-Benz, official luxury vehicle of the SEC. Stats, analysis, a full game recap, and more are coming up. Once again, let's go live inside Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.
Final score from Nashville, semifinal number 1 in the books. It's the 4-seed Tennessee Volunteers beating top seed Auburn 70-65. Stephen Hartzell courtside with you at Bridgestone Arena. Welcome to the postgame show, driven by Mercedes-Benz. We're getting ready for semifinal number 2, Florida and Alabama on the floor, going through some pregame shoot-around. We are about 20 minutes out from Gators and Tide in semifinal number 2. Winner will get Tennessee in in the championship game on Sunday. It's time for our T-Mobile play of the game. It comes courtesy of Zakai Ziegler.
Ziegler probing left of the circle, rifles a three. It's good! Zakai Ziegler is cold. 60-49, Tennessee.
The experience of Zakai Ziegler, understanding the situation, being able to make shots from the outside, and not taking any risks like Pettiford did.
Man, does he know the situation like nobody's business.
As called by our broadcast team of Jason Benetti and Tony Delk, Zakai Ziegler with the three. That put Tennessee up by 11. They led by as many as a dozen in the second half. Auburn would go on a run. They would get it within a bucket, but Tennessee never relinquished that lead in the second half. And as you heard there, Zakai Ziegler, our play of the game with that three-pointer, brought to you by T-Mobile 5G Home Internet. Zakai Ziegler had the play of the game. He had the interview of the game. We're just going to go ahead and give him the hat trick. Zakai Ziegler is also our player of the game, brought to you by Bush's. Bush's Chili Magic makes chili magically fast. Just chop, drop, chili. Ziegler led Tennessee in scoring 20 points. He was 5 of 11 from the floor. Just 1 3 that you heard there, but a perfect 9 of 9 from the free throw line. 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Played a lot of this game with 3 fouls. Never picked up that 4th one, though. Zakai Ziegler, SEC Defensive Player of the Year, getting it done for Tennessee. Volunteers also got 15 points from Gainey, 12 from Lanier. Auburn was led by, guess who? Janai Broome, 23 points and 7 rebounds. Broome was 9 of 13 from the floor, but just 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Auburn as a team missed 9 free throws, just 60% from the stripe for Auburn today. Tennessee dominated at the free throw line, 25 of 27 from the free throw line as a team for Tennessee. That's 92.6%. And Tennessee wins by 5, 70-65. A reminder that coming up, we await the start of semifinal number 2 between Florida and Alabama. Those two teams are out on the floor right now going through some last-minute shoot-arounds. While we wait, special treat for our SEC Radio Network audience. Usually in this spot on semifinal Saturday, we get SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey for a sit-down interview. Well, he's on College Game Day right now. We lost out to TV, but we had a sit-down with Commissioner Sankey yesterday, and we wanted to replay that for our audience. So here he is, Commissioner Greg Sankey, on the eve of Selection Sunday. You can guess what we talked about. So let's talk about Sunday. This league is on the verge of something special, and historic Selection Sunday on deck. The record is 11 from the Big East in 2011. The Southeastern Conference is staring at 13 and, dare I say, 14 teams?
I've never said anything less than 14 since mid-January. In my office, as we were looking at things out of non-conference, I said we only talk about the expectation of 14. And I think 14 have earned that. I think what we've seen over the season, this is an entirety of a season matter. And even in this week and last week, we've got 14 teams in a very tight competitive league that merit consideration and involvement in the NCAA tournament. And all 14 can make a run.
We've sat here before and talked about how the SEC can get to this point, Commissioner. What do you think in terms of league initiatives? Was it schools investing? Was it a commitment to facilities? Was it, something that the league was mandating, tougher strength of schedule in the non-conference? How did we get here? Because it didn't just happen.
It did not. So the first thing we needed to do is understand our status. And in 2016, we had 3 teams selected to the NCAA men's basketball tournament in March of 2016. That was the end of my first year of being commissioner. And that was a low point for me because that's not at all what our expectations, what's represented by our expectations. But if you go back to the preceding 10 years, so 2006 to 2015, can't show a graphic on the radio, so I'll describe it. We had 3 occasions during that time period with only 3 teams selected. And we had 2 others. So half of that decade, half of that 10 years, we only had 3 or 4 teams in the NCAA tournament. That's a trend line, plus the 2016. And so we were honest about where we were. My view is we weren't talking about the right issues, the right things in our meetings. And so that was the second step. What were our problems? We didn't have continuity of coaches. We had some coaches who were wonderful people, but moved into jobs after kind of short tenures and quick runs with a couple of wins in the NCAA tournament, which could give a false impression. And then they're coming in with Billy Donovan and Kevin Stallings and Bruce Pearl. Tough to compete. I think next we had an APR, an academic progress measurement problem, which is an NCAA lingo word, but that really locked in our rosters where people didn't know how to adjust. And then from scheduling, we talked so much about the RPI, and we didn't talk about the substantive issues in my mind. Like, how do we have a better non-conference schedule? Yeah, we talked about it, and we did some estimations. We didn't compare it to others with the kind of depth that we needed and understanding how we schedule intelligently. And then you look, and I have in front of me all of our top 14 teams, quad 1, quad 2 wins. Auburn has 21 quad 1, quad 2 wins. 21. 25 total games. That's the toughest schedule in America. Florida next has 17 quad 1 and quad 2 wins. And you go all the way down. I've heard this comparison of some of the other teams that are on the bubble that have like one quad 1 win. LSU has 2 quad 1 wins, and they're not even in consideration. And I think winning and scheduling difficult games and winning is supposed to be rewarded. And I think we've set ourselves up for great success, given that this is a historic year. There hasn't been a league to have the kind of non-conference success we've had since 1983-84 when I was a college sophomore.
I know how you're going to watch the selection show tomorrow on TV like everybody else. Do you romanticize Selection Sunday a little bit? I know fully grown adults who still print out the bracket, sharpen the pencil, and fill it out as we go along. But what's that going to be like for you tomorrow?
It will be with a heavy level of anticipation to see if we can not just break a record, but shatter a record in a way that never may be touched again. So I have high expectations. And we've, in our office, never talked about less than 14 since mid-January. Literally, I've forbidden the notion that we're